Aye, let's go.
Zhongli time. So, hello everyone. You may be wondering why we're here today.
Hello, good evening.
Good evening. I'm streaming a bit later than normal, but that's fine because whatever. Anyway, a while back, I had a thought.
Yeah, get,
Boats are made for transferring commodities back
Yeah,
and
I
forth.
yeah,
know. I know boats are for
get.
Z. A while ago, I had a
Also, I love
thought.
how you.
What?
I love how you introduce with you. Might be wondering why we're all here tonight. And that my main thought was just like, we are gathered here today to celebrate.
Here. I mean, we are gathered here today to celebrate the video I posted the other day. Go watch it. Plug 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 plug. I'm going to be
I
making more content like it, and I'm just very proud of it in general. So go watch it. But no, the actual
yeah,
reason.
it, surprise! Anthony's getting married to Z.
Oh my god. No,
I'm
that's
kidding.
not it.
I mean, would you oppose?
Oh, absolutely not. But that's not the reason we're here. The actual reason we're here is some time
No
ago
time's a charm.
I had a thought of how many bosses can my Zhongli build solo? Because I built him as a not exactly main DPS, but he is capable of doing quite a lot of damage by himself nonetheless. So I'm curious
That.
how many bosses he can solo.
Hold on. That's a lot of damage.
That's a lot of damage.
Sorry,
Oh, you should see the meteorite.
I said that over you.
That's okay.
I talked over you. I apologize. Anyway, speaking of builds, should you actually go into like the party selects and like your whatever the
I
fuck to
should.
like show the build?
Okay, so first off, he's maxed out in the level department.
Yeah,
I don't have a single
great start.
constellation for him, unfortunately, but his talents are also maxed out, and his weapon is the Dragon Spine Spear. This is because the base attack and the physical damage bonus, since I use the spear a lot. Also because of the fact that this weapon is also maxed out in both refinement and level. The reason I use it is because of Frost
Mhm.
Burial, which has a 100% chance of dropping an icicle that does area of attack damage, which is equal to 140% of attack, which is a lot, and deals even more to opponents who are affected by cryo. So that's a really good weapon, and which is why I put it on him. Uh, for artifacts, I'm mainly focused on increasing his overall attack, but also how much damage his burst does. So we have a Nobilis Obline and Glider's Finale. Uh, of course, this one increases HP because it's a flower, but in my opinion, the Elemental Mastery, Energy Recharge, and Defense on this one are pretty good. This attack, which got HP, Elemental Mastery, attack, and more HP. So this, in my opinion, is a really good thing. HP, attack, defense, critical damage, and defense. Attack, attack, defense, HP, HP, attack, energy recharge, HP, elemental mastery, attack. I put a lot into Zhongli.
And wait, are those mats too? By the way,
What? Oh yeah, all my artifacts
are the
are
artifacts also?
5-star and they're all maxed out.
So aside from
Aside from
constellations, which is just
Constellation,
basically aren't.
he's a maxed out build. He's
Yes,
even max
and the
level
only reason
friendship.
why constellation.
Osmanthus
Yeah,
wine tastes
the
Yes,
only
we
good.
reason
know.
why his constellation is a match out is just because that's just RNG at that point, waiting for a fucking banner.
And I
Yeah,
would
or at least a banner that's not nets to Noubliette,
yeah,
at least.
I would do wishes. I have enough for 2 10 pulls right now. I think I actually have like 25 wishes right now. And I would do some on Zhongli to hopefully get some like a Constellation 1. But the issue with that is New Villette is coming up soon, and I really want to get him.
Yeah, literally next month, because like Anthony like was exploring Fontaine, and immediately Nubliet steps into the room with his gay ass, and then immediately
New FO
Anthony
discovered.
just like we're called. Yeah, just like I'm hanging out with like fucking Anthony voice call, and I just hear him going fucking feral like oh no. Oh no, I want him. Oh no.
Like, he's very pretty, and it's like, oh yeah, by the way, this is the, Chief of Justice, you know? Basically, the Judge of Fontaine, and I'm just like, oh no.
Yeah, and there are also headcanons. We're not sure if it's canon or not. Or at least I'm not sure. Which might
There it is.
also suggest that Nucleus is also the Hydro Dragon. Which, if that's the case,
2 dragons! I'm in love with 2 dragons!
which is infinitely funny to me.
It's a little bit funny. Anyway, so the first.
Yeah, so unfortunately, because he's dropping soon, we can't participate in the Z banner.
I want Nuvula so bad. Also, Fontaine was basically
so-
handmade for me. Like, can I just
Yeah.
say?
Little,
Anyway,
little
the first
fucking law
boss.
nerd.
Yes, I am a law nerd. I want to be a paralegal. Sue me. I also fucking love the ocean aesthetic. Anyway, the first boss we're gonna be trying out is the Geo Hypostasis because Zhongli's shield yields very well to this boss fight. So I'd like to see. I think this is probably the easiest one, which is why it's what I'm starting with.
Yeah, we're just warming up.
A warm up, if you will.
Stabilize.
Where'd you go? Where'd you fucking go? There you are. I'll get you. I love how you can just stand next to the tower and it'll basically just do damage to it for you. This may take a while though, due to a lack of a bow user, is the only thing. And also, I won't be able to use my, burst, because that won't do any damage to the Geohypostasis, so we're gonna have to hold on to that. It's okay, just
for another fight, for another day.
For another day. Ow.
So please, while you're kicking this, please explain the rules to us as to what the solo run pertains to.
Alright, the rules of the Zhongli challenge is that I am, of course, only allowed to fight a boss with Zhongli on my party. I am not allowed, or at the very least, using foods or potions to increase attack or defense or damage in general is discouraged. However, healing items are allowed. I am not... sorry. As I said before, I'm not allowed to use anyone else on my party during this time. So basically, the rule is use the character as they are built, and no additional.
Okay, so question, with the food items, in or out of battle?
You are allowed to use them in battle, however, they must be purely healing items. They cannot be something that increases stamina, attack, or damage.
Okay, and then just out of battle is whatever, the same?
Out of battle is whatever, because out of battle doesn't really matter to a rule set.
Yeah, just like I know, like, because if you like go over to the next boss, or you're running over to it, and you take like a food item that might like increase the thing,
Oh yeah, that's
and
fine.
then you
But you
Yeah,
will
and-
but you will have to wait for its effect to wear off before entering the battle.
okay, that's what I was gonna ask. Cause
Because,
like, if you like take it and then over time, like you get there before it runs out, is that allowed or no?
I'd say it's best to avoid. Don't mind me, just this helps destroying the tower. It's best to avoid using it and just wait for it to run out before going into the battle. Oh, I got so close.
Okay.
So, no, you're not allowed to use any food to help you. And the reason I say you're not allowed to use stamina foods is because of charged attacks that require stamina. So you're not allowed to use foods that replenish that stamina. You have to just to wait for it to replenish by itself.
Gotcha. Alright. And obviously there's not gonna be any revives because there's only one person in the party, and that's an automatic loss.
Yeah, no revives.
Yeah, it's all one take from here.
Yeah. That's also a thing. I'm only allowed one life for each boss, at least on this run of it, I guess we'll say.
Yeah.
So let's say like if I'm fighting the animal hypostasis and I die, I'll have to go through a decent amount of bosses before I feel like I can return to that. Because I don't want to just do it back to back. And there we go!
Okay, so yeah.
Geohypostasis beaten. Therefore, achieved.
Yeah, okay.
I'm gonna
so
just
would
get
it be
the
fair
reward.
to say that if you want, well, I guess it depends on how many bosses there are. How many bosses are there again?
Yes.
Can we please check like a compendium? We
Uh,
have a compendium, right? For bosses.
well, technically it's in the
Just
game.
in general features.
An adventurer's
yeah.
journal.
Yeah, the
Let me
adventurer's
go
journal. I was wondering if they
to
were.
enemies and go to
Yeah.
specifically bosses. If I can open the thing.
Yeah. Okay.
Boss
There we
enemies.
go.
Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26. And that's not even counting the weekly bosses.
Oh, okay. I feel like we should probably exclude the weekly bosses for now.
Yeah, those are being
Because-
excluded for now. Basically, if I lose to one boss, I'm not gonna go back to it until I defeat at least 5 more. Maybe 3 or 5 more.
Yeah, 3 or 5 more. Depends how long everything takes. Because
basically, I'm not going to do any back-to-back.
Yeah, I was gonna suggest like maybe we roundabout back to it, but then you said like 20 something. I'm just like, oh, actually, never mind. That sounds like hell.
Yeah. Okay, so the geohypostasis, we can check that off. Definitely possible to defeat with just Zhongli. The Primo Geovizap is very close to as however it's pronounced in fighting style and like how you and just like in battle in general. So I'd actually like to try and take that on now because I think it would be possible.
So what happens if you think a boss isn't
Every
possible?
journey has its final day.
We're saving that
Don't
for last. Because there is actually a few bosses I'm not sure are entirely possible on just a Zhongli run.
Okay, well, rather, what happens if you run to a boss battle and you realize, oh, actually, I can't defeat this with just Z?
Well, realistically, I would still like to try. However, in a rule set for a challenge run, I'd say if you truly do not think it is possible, it's okay to fall back, but you would have to consider that a loss.
Yeah. Okay, that's fair enough then.
Yeah. I may in another stream take on the weekly bosses with just Zhongli. Especially that
Eh.
fucking ginger. I hate him.
Yeah. And after all, it's only fair that Z gets his turn because I'm gonna say spoilers for right now.
Oh my god,
Uh,
spoilers for the second nation, guys! You know?
no, not for the second nation, for the newest.
Oh.
Because I'm talking about new blitz, so I don't wanna.
Oh, right,
I don't wanna
gotcha.
spoil
I
people
thought you
who
were
are.
spoiling, like, the Leeway story, and I was like, oh my
No,
god, guys, spoiler
no,
warning.
no, and for the new Fontaine region, so.
Gotcha,
I
continue.
just want to put that on top. But yeah, in Fontaine, somebody gets in trouble. And when somebody gets all pissy when he gets in trouble and tries to be like, enough, I'm going full boss mode on your ass, Nubalik gets up, curb stomps his face in immediately, and they're just like, okay, take him away to prison. Immediately drops this man. Fucking
Yeah.
immediately.
Three.
I understand it was mid magical girl power up. I understand this, and he didn't fully
Nubula didn't break a
fully
sweat, though.
transform. Yeah, he didn't fully transform, but come on, he immediately dropped kicked this man mid magical girl transformation. Fucking really? That was far more than what Z did with just like, oh, by the way, here's my gnosis. You won
Boats are
with the
made for
contract
transferring
thing.
commodities back and forth. And those that come across
I
me
still
So-
stand behind my video. Plug.
so it is where many things come to settle.
That
Yeah,
one's
but,
2 years old, but I still stand behind it.
Yeah, but still, I think it's only fair that we get to watch Z fucking drop kick the ginger just as well.
Yeah.
Anyway. Because Nebula did, and so I automatically will say, okay, yeah, I like this. I like this a lot better.
Anyway, for the Geo Vizap, there are certain attacks where it's required you have a shield, either the same element it is currently using, or just a pure Geo shield. And you know, with Zhongli's shield, gonna be very helpful here. Like right now! Watch this! Didn't even touch him!
I will have order.
We'll have order!
I love how basically Z immediately just comes down with a full ass fucking meteor to the face.
Yeah!
Careless.
Oh.
One of the many reasons why I'm afraid of Z. Exhibit A. Listen, if I do something wrong and he can drop kick the fucking asteroid on me, yeah, no, ma'am, I don't think so.
Man, I love him. Yeah, this is gonna be done in no time.
I think you need a simping emote at some point for your overlay on stream.
I might. Yeah, no,
Especially if you're doing another Z video.
With Zhongli's shield, this boss is a cakewalk, even if it is just him.
Yeah. But yeah, if you're gonna make another Z video or Z stream, you might as well have one.
I probably
be
will,
real.
cause like I said, I would like to also try it with the weekly bosses.
Yeah, exactly. So might want to prep for that with some pay.
Sim.
Because we already know you're good already in this stream.
What? No, I'm totally normal. These
No,
are
you're not.
baseless assumptions.
Han, I've heard you talking about this man. No, the fuck you are not.
This is liable.
I wish like I could like edit the streams or have the patience to edit the stream so I can immediately like cut to like probably an hour or two later where you're sipping over Z.
Fucking I'll do it. I'll call myself out. I don't care.
Yeah, I'm calling it now. You say just like
Oh, I got an
these are
achievement.
lies and you're gonna say this is lies and slander, and then immediately cut to an hour, maybe hour and a half or two later. There's going to be simping.
What is the achievement I just got? Defeat the proud Geovizap in all its elemental forms. Oh, fuck yeah.
Hell yeah!
Hell yeah, Primojons. Alright, so Primo Geovizap, complete. That is therefore possible for Zhongli to defeat all on his own. Do I have the thing? No. So I'm not gonna bother with that. Wait, I should just go back to the book. Okay, so those were the two that I figured I would be able to beat. Oh, why is the wolf here? That's a weekly boss. I guess this is all the overworld bosses.
Yeah, it has to be like overworld stuff, probably.
Now we're getting into less geo-afflicted bosses.
Yeah. Though now that does make me wonder though, is like, do you think that Lupical is like possible with just Z?
I do.
Really, cause I don't know about you, but I remember struggling on that bitch when I had it. Now I had to on my computer, I had to get rid of Genshin completely because I was having space issues because fucking the at the time new region of not
Sumeru.
Sumeru. Yeah, Sumeru, because it has the deserts and all those forests. Yeah, my computer would be like heaving and huffing so hard trying its best. It would not download, you guys. And even then, even when it was trying to, it was like making my computer struggle to open literally fucking anything else. So I had to like disinstall Genshin, and that immediately solved the problem because it took up so much less space on my computer.
Speaking of how Genshin
So,
functions, I'd just like to mention the fact that Genshin runs better on my computer and while streaming than Security Breach. Just like to drop that there. It's just funny.
yeah,
to me.
that sounds
Anyway, continue.
that sounds about right. But yeah, so I had to like uninstall Genshin. So I when I say like something about Genshin, this is coming from someone who wasn't even able to do Inazuma before the new update dropped. So my knowledge, it stands from Mondstadt to Leeway to some things about Inazuma, and otherwise I just only know tidbits here and there from Anthony.
I help.
That's about it. But I remember, yeah, fucking, like, I struggled with Lupicle's fight a lot whenever I had to fight him. I struggled a lot.
Now the thing is, I feel like Zhongli's shield is almost OP if you build him right. And I feel like that helps with a lot of bosses, because the ability to not take damage is very powerful. Anyway, we're gonna try out I think it was called the Magu Kenki? Basically this puppet fuck in Inazuma. We're gonna try him next.
I wouldn't know about anything about him because I could not get to Inazuma before because fucking the goddamn adventure level. Fuck!
Yeah, I remember warning you, like, hey, don't go to Inazuma until you're ready. This isn't, like, a thing of story progression, this is entirely a skill issue thing. Not to say that you wouldn't have the skills, but just Inazuma, it feels like a leap.
Yeah, it feels like a difficulty spike. And I, like, freshly had, like, by the time, like, I finished the Leeway stuff, I like freshly when I got to the proper adventure level to go to Inazuma, I like immediately had like a level up to my world level, and so so things were getting harder around Leeway as is, let alone fucking whatever Inazuma had. So I was just like, I'm gonna keep grinding levels, and it was hard as fuck. And then I put down the game for a while, and then the new update came out, and I couldn't play it. So, fuck.
Man.
So yeah, because I remember the last time I played it was when oh god, that cave update came out, the one with the like swirl in the last like Leeway bit.
The chasm.
By Leeway. Yeah, the chasm. That's when that update came out. I believe was my last time I played it.
Man.
It was a thing.
Speaking of which, we're gonna have to go down there for one of the bosses.
Eh.
God,
But yeah,
look at
fucking.
that.
Yeah, so to say the least, I am not very good at Genshin.
It's okay. Luckily, I think what helps is I'm very familiar with the Magu Kenki because I had to fight him a lot to ascend Kazuha, who is who's a part of my main team. So
After this boss battle, do you want to show everyone your main team?
yeah, I'm actually
'Cause I
very
know
proud
that's
of
what-
my main team.
Because I know that's what Genshin players do, they bond over what their main teams are and stuff, I think.
I don't know. I don't really talk to Genshin players outside of Briz.
Order guide you.
Yeah.
Gather.
Yeah, because let's be honest, some people that are into Genshin are kind of chill, but there's a reason why it has the reputation that it has. Let's be real honest.
Yeah, I try not to interact with the fandom.
Yeah. But yeah.
God, where the fuck did you go? Stop moving and let me hit you.
Listen, when there's gotcha to be had with a lot of hot women and men, that usually caters to more Eastern audience. It tends to have a lot of players that that may or may not be a bit problematic. I'm noticing.
Lady.
Solidify.
Oh god.
Sorry.
Like, not everybody, of course, not everybody, but yeah, fucking, that's always a problem with fandoms, is that the toxic ones are really, really loud when they want to be, and you're just having to sit there like, no, guys, shut the fuck up, you're not
Here we go.
helping, guys. It's exhausting.
Yeah, you just gotta kind of learn to wade through the garbage. And for
Yeah.
me, that's not interacting. Anyway, Mangu Kenki, completely possible.
Yeah, so, and even then, when you don't wade through the garbage, you, like, hear, like, official updates that are talking about the garbage, and you're just like, no, don't listen to them, please don't listen to them. No, come on.
Internally cringing at a lot.
Yeah, fucking. That's just how it be, unfortunately.
Unfortunately. Which one should I do first? Out of the robots. There are a few robots.
I don't know, I struggled with a lot of the robots.
Let's go with another one in Azuma.
Another one.
If you'd like
This
to see
one
Liyue's
is
tourist
under the
spots,
sea.
I have a
I
few
know!
references.
I know you have a few references! Mantis wine tastes the same as you remember. And Venti's right fucking there. Oh my god, me and Zach Because Zach will play Genshin. I don't know how long it's been since he's played it, but because
Yeah.
Zach had Venti and I had Zhongli, we'd run around as the two Archons at the time together. And
Yeah.
every time Zhongli would say Osmanthus' wine tastes the same as I remember, we'd make a joke of Venti being like, "Stop telling everyone I'm dead!" Because, you know, Venti was one of the original Archons along with Zhongli.
Yeah. One of two that now remain, at least.
Yeah. They're literally the only two that remain of the original 7.
Yeah.
Alright. I think I might be able to do this with just Zhongli, but, well, never know.
Yeah.
Never know till I try.
By the way, does he have, like, canon lines about Venti? I forget.
Yes.
Do you remember what they were, what it was about, or...? Because I don't.
I don't remember
certainly
off the top of
fucking
my
don't.
head, but I can easily find it. Let me just
Yeah.
try and fight
You
this
know,
thing
do the
first.
boss, yeah.
Yeah, that'd be pretty important. Do the
Yeah,
challenge I came here to do.
Yeah, hey. Because I forgot what, like, Venti and Z thought about each other.
I also have Venti now, so I might be able to see what Venti thinks of Zhongli as well.
Yeah.
I will have order.
It's literally under the water, brings down a meteorite anyway, cause fuck you.
Just like Z, just like, I will have more as water comes flooding in.
This is fine.
Yeah, and Z just has this look of shit. Traveler's just standing there in the back with like, Z, what did you do? But by the way, I should mention that if you hear me say Z, I am referring to Zhongli. I just can't. I don't want to butcher his name. Because I always feel like I'm pronouncing it wrong.
No, it's okay.
So I just go with Z for the sake of ease. And so I don't have to like really like squint and think about like the way I'm pronouncing it.
This is order.
This
that's
is
also-
order.
And that's also why I need to come up with a nickname for fucking Nucleate. Because I'm bad with names and how to pronounce them, especially in other languages. Well, quote unquote other languages, but like still you get my point of just like
Bronze.
yeah, I can't say names in other languages to save my life. Because I'm just that white. So I need to come up with a nickname for him. Well, God damn it, why'd you pick the two, like, pseudo, or I'm gonna say pseudo because, you know, fucking French boy. Why'd you pick the two, like, fucking pseudo, like, fucking Archons? Because he did give up his noses. Why'd you pick the two, like, pseudo-Archons that have the fucking hardest names in the world to pronounce?
I didn't pick them, they picked me. Hey, at least Kokomi's got an easy to pronounce name, and I really like her too.
Yeah, but also, there's a difference between, oh, fish girlfriend, and then two fucking dragons in the background.
Will have order.
Look, it just happened, okay?
Yeah, fucking, there's a bit of a difference here either way, hun.
Look. Shut the fuck up. Also, can I say, I find it funny how both Kokomi and Nuvulette are, you know, Hydro.
Stabilize.
Yeah, and then Z's just standing there with his rocks, like,
There feels like a discrepancy here.
One of these things is not like the other. Also love how now that I'm thinking about it, wouldn't that just mean that, oh god, Nuvulets is kind of just like a mix of Z and Kokomi? Like, he has the personality and the dragon thing, like Z, but he also has the ocean/water aesthetic of Kokomi. Does that mean he's just like... It's a both. Your silence.
I hope it speaks volumes.
It does, because like I'm just sitting here like, wait, hold on, cause like we were saying one of these things out of the other, but like Kokomi out of those two are like different in the fact that she's, you know, not a dragon and the only, you know, one of the three. Z's the only Geo, and I was trying to think of one for Nubula, and I'm just like, wait, he has something in relation to both of them. They're kind of similar.
He's the only Frenchman.
Huh. I mean, yeah, they're all from different regions, hun. Of course,
Yeah, but he's
like,
the
oh
only
shit,
Frenchman.
that doesn't count because they're all from different places.
Okay, but he's the only
Like,
Frenchman.
Okay. Something that both Z and Kokomi share that Nuvulet does not
They're Asian.
is. Okay.
I'm
Okay.
just spitting facts, okay?
Yeah. Anyways, point being, I was trying to think of something. I'm just like, wait, no, because he has like Hydro like Kokomi, but also the dragon, the personality of Z to some degree. And so I just had this like slow realization of just like, wait, isn't he just a mix of the two?
This is the second time I've had an FO that is basically just a mix of two other FOs, except this time they're all from the same game.
Yeah, and I think the other one was spammed.
The other one was Spamton, because I realized he has parallels to both Wheatley and Monica, and those are both FOs as well.
Wait, Monica's?
Yeah.
I've never seen you include Monica in your FO's list, like, ever.
I've never really written an official FO list, so...
Well, I mean, like, whenever, like, I kind of, like, anybody, like, kind of list down your FOs, whether it's me or you, we kind of never, like, consider Monica.
The only reason I haven't brought up Monica is most of the time I think first and foremost about the men.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
But no, I do consider Monica an FO.
Okay, gotcha.
I would give her a smooch.
Yeah. You know, first we have Kokomi, now we have Monica. I'm immediately sensing somewhat of a pattern. I can't put my finger on what. But I feel like there's a pattern here.
What do you? How can you say I sense a pattern, then say I don't know what that pattern is?
No, just like I'm like in my mind, I'm looking at them side by side, and I'm just like, there's something similar here. I'm not sure what, but there's something similar here.
Is it the
And I'm
hairstyle?
squinting. No,
Like
that
with the
would
ponytail thing? The bow,
I mean,
bow life thing?
no. I feel like that's like I feel like it's a personality thing, but I'm squinting. I'm trying to figure it out.
I mean, they're both leaders.
Yeah.
Although one's of a club and the other is of an entire military front.
Yeah,
So-
but like you say like manpower, and then we have legal.
You
literally
didn't
literally
have
the
you
god
didn't
of-
you didn't have to say that.
We have the god of Geo, and then Dumpster Man.
You didn't have to say that, huh? It cost you $0 not to say that. You, how dare you call me out on my stream?
Hey, you were calling yourself out like with Monica and Kokomi. I was just
That
like,
is
calling them-
completely different. Me saying that they both happen to be leaders doesn't necessarily mean anything.
I don't know. I don't know about that one, sheep.
I will pay you to shut the fuck up.
With what money, bitch?
I have $100 bill in my wallet right now.
And how is that they're gonna send that to me? I'm pretty sure you cannot legally send that to me.
I will find a way. You don't understand how powered and motivated I can be on just pure spite. It's the reason I haven't watched Bambi. And I am so fully serious when I say that. The reason I have not watched Bambi is out of spite.
Out of spite to who? I don't think you've ever quite told the story to even me.
Here's the thing. It's not out of spite to a specific person, more just multiple people, because when I was younger, I never watched Bambi. I didn't have that experience. I was more focused on other Disney movies like Aladdin. I fucking love Aladdin. And then when I started like going to school and I would be talking to people, they'd be like, "Oh, you haven't watched Aladdin? Not Aladdin. You haven't watched Bambi? You should totally watch Bambi." And it's like, I don't know. And then it would just keep happening, or people would be like, "Oh, you haven't watched Bambi? You should watch it." And then it just got to a point where I'm just like, "No, I don't think I will." And I have not watched Bambi since. I am 19 years old. It's also the same reason why I refuse to watch JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. Because a lot of people have said, like, talked about it and said it's so great. And I've had a few people that are like, "Yeah, I watched JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, you should watch it." And I'm just like, I don't think I will.
Yeah.
That's just not really my kind of anime.
Yeah, and plus it's fucking... God, how long is it by now?
It's
Fucking,
not as long
like...
as One Piece. There's at least that.
Well, that's not a contest, hun. It's One Piece. There is no contest.
I did say at least that.
Yeah, at least that, but that's not exactly a high bar. That's like jumping a pit. That's not very hard. The bar is not even the floor, that's just a hole.
All I'm saying is, it's not as long as One Piece.
You're technically right, but also, again, that's a hole.
But it's also, like, you literally can't tell me I'm wrong.
Yeah, I can't, and that's just...
Because then
just the
you
thing.
would be the one who is wrong.
Yeah, I'd be factually wrong.
God, speaking of
That's the
anime,
whole
I've been
thing.
wanting to rewatch, Brotherhood. You introduced me to that, and I keep thinking back to Full Metal Alchemist now.
Yeah, fuck yeah.
There's still that movie which you also wanted to watch with me that we haven't watched yet.
Which one? I don't think we watched either one.
Well, then I think you want me to watch at least one of them. I could be misremembering, but I could have sworn.
Oh, yeah. I think that was the OG because that's the Edward that I FO.
Yeah.
Because...
The one who's in, like, England, I think.
Yeah. No, it was Germany because there was the for some reason the movie, like, it just has very, very, like, pretty obvious references to World War II. So, I'm just sitting here like, yeah, that
Why are you not
why
dead?
they did that.
There we
I
go.
don't know why they did that.
Ugh. I
Oh,
forgot
there.
what that thing was called. But I did that. That took
Yeah.
a while. The perpetual mechanical array is possible with only Zhongli.
Yeah.
Mm.
But yeah, I don't know why they decided to put that in the movie because yikes.
Now that's what we in the market refer to as cringe.
Yeah, I don't know why they did. Maybe this is the road to
Let's
distant
head to
classes.
the cat.
tinted glasses. Maybe this is the rose tinted glasses. Maybe this is just from my memory, but it wasn't. Besides that, it wasn't that bad. I want to say, but I can be probably pretty easily corrected.
Mm.
Oh, voice lines first. Voice lines first.
Oh, right. Well, because I'm gonna be at the teleporter, I'll be at a safe spot, so I'll do it there.
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
I just remember
That's one.
watching
Yeah,
like the animes with you and just being like,
yeah,
you know what? I like Brotherhood more.
yeah. Which is fair. It's not the OG isn't for everyone. I like it, but
I do.
yeah,
It's not that I don't like it. I do like it. I just like Brotherhood more. That could probably
yeah,
be
that's fair.
because the ending for the original just felt, I don't know how to put it other than just off.
Yeah, I I don't know. I like it, but that's just a me thing.
I think it is
I
still a
like
good
it.
anime, and I do still recommend people watch it.
Yeah, and like I only went over O3 with you first, like ending or not, whichever one you liked first, because that's the proper way to fucking watch it. Because Brotherhood goes yum and then slows
Oh,
down.
we going so fucking fast, for yeah, whoa.
Yeah, we went so fucking fast the first part because it automatically assumes you watched the original.
Which, like,
So
honestly, I
they had
didn't. It's not like I really minded watching the first anime. I honestly did think it had good moments. I just like
yeah,
Brotherhood more, personally.
yeah, because of the ending. But yeah, I think we can both agree that the voice lines, the
You
slower,
right. You seriously have to watch the first one.
yeah, that you seriously have to watch the first one first to get the rest of it, to
Like,
like have
because
take time.
even as someone who did, as someone who did watch, the first one first, because you made me
Mm,
watch in that order. I still felt whiplash going through the second anime. There
yeah,
it is.
going through Brotherhood.
Yeah. Okay. Let's see.
It reeks of wine. That bard has just been through here, hasn't he? That drunkard is a disgrace to the arts. Oh. Has he tricked you into getting drunk? You're slurring a little. Wait a moment. I'll brew a pot of
Why?
sobering tea. It'll be ready in only 6 hours, so
Uh,
just wait a moment.
why was that oddly snobbish of him? Like it sounded, or at least the first part sounded oddly snobbish of him. I'm just like, what?
Yeah. Like
That's
Zhongli, that's a little much, ain't it?
yeah. I'm just like, yeah. That seems like fucking sibling bickering, which makes sense because like the seven and fucking all this and that. But like at the same time, whoa now, drunkard, and we're using the bard word like fucking like
I mean, Venti is a drunk bard. I mean,
yeah.
Zhongli's not the only one to call him that.
Yeah, exactly. That's I'm just like that's the thing that Paimon calls him. So that's I'm just sitting here like, damn, you twozy. So
Have
so
you
you can
seen
say
that
anything
gentleman
about
around?
it? Oh,
Huh? He's just a normal man by the name of Zhongli now? Ugh, that must be quite the change for that old blockhead. Come with me to see him, will you? I have a vintage I dug up from Windrise that I can take as a condolence gift. Oh, did he still seem strong when you saw him? How strong? Am I likely to get blown away?
That old blockhead.
yeah, that old blockhead caught my eye to eat their siblings. Their
They're
siblings. Their
siblings.
siblings.
They're siblings.
Yeah, that like you can't tell me that like that drunkard, that bard, and then just like oh old blockhead like that. You can't tell me that doesn't radiate sibling energy immediately.
It's literally bickering sibling energy.
Yeah, and then also, what's the normal party look like?
Oh, I have it in my party setup, so let me show them off because I'm very proud of them.
E.
This is my main party. let the two. There we go. This is my main party. Kakomi's my healer, Ganyu is sub TPS, and Kazuha is mainly here for swirl and. But I'm gonna be real, Kazuha's very good. He does very good damage. I mainly just use him for the swirl effect though, and his elemental burst.
Yeah,
Though his
wait,
skill can be helpful midair.
does anybody here have a bow, or...
Ganyu has a bow.
Okay, I was just wondering, cause like, if they don't, then who's your bow user?
Yeah, Ganyu's my bow user. Then Kakomi is a catalyst user, and Kazuha is a sword user.
Right,
I like to
right.
try and have bow users on my team, though in the reference
Yeah,
of my alt party, I don't. Mainly because I was originally going to have Yomiya on this team, but then I didn't get her, but I got Klee, so I put her on there instead.
yeah.
This is my alt team, and those are the only two teams I really have, but
Yeah.
this
So,
one's my main. They are my babies.
yeah, 'cause I remember using Traveler, because yes, I'm a Traveler main. Fight me. Specifically Animo. Animo's Wind, right?
Animo's Wind, correct.
Okay. Yeah. So Animo Traveler. Kaya. Kaya. Please tell me that's the right name.
Kaya's a name.
Yeah. Okay. Animo Traveler. Kaya. Barbara and Razor. So I don't have a bow user on and that's my main team. So instead I have to use like Amber as bow, which is very rare because she's not on par with everyone else. And I try to, but at the same time at some point I just kind of give up. I'm just like, she's lagging behind a little. But I don't care because I can't fucking shoot with a bow to save my goddamn life anyway.
That's fair. I like using bow users because I just really like the bow. I kind of refer to it as my weapon sometimes. It's something I like to use to represent myself, weapon wise. I just like it. I think bows are neat.
I don't have the hand-eye coordination for bows. I'm bad at shooting.
I don't really either. I took one archery lesson in Girl Scouts, and that's because we had to, basically.
Mm.
But I did enjoy it.
For me, I have really bad hand-eye coordination. Even as someone who like plays video games all the time, I have really bad hand-eye coordination. I can't like do sports to save my life when it comes to catching anything. I don't throw very good, nor do I catch very good, and I'm just really bad at like FPSs. I'm just really fucking bad at shooting, you guys. So, yeah,
No.
Yeah, I don't use bows if I can fucking help it.
Oh my god, I just realized I've never fought this thing before.
Solidify.
I've never fought this thing before, but let me try with my solo Z run.
Let's try anyway. Oh god. Wait, I'm gonna need the fucking thing, aren't I? Stop!
Order guide you.
It's okay, just make sure you learn the attack patterns.
I'm not doing horribly, so there is that.
There is, in fact, that.
Okay, so yeah, I did definitely need that. I'm glad I grabbed it.
Yeah. Also, can I just say that those fucking block bitches, I like first came across them like a challenge thing to like level up my world level and things, and I had like them on my team and I had no idea what I was fucking doing, so Bennett is my pyro user when I need one, so he's kind of my backup to swap out with Barbara because he also heals. And like,
He's a
I
good
remember
support.
going. Yeah, he's very good support, but like, even then, I remember going through that fight for fucking like a good solid like few hours trying to figure out how to whittle down his health, trying to figure out what the fuck I'm supposed to do. And I lost the first time and I came back the second time like, okay, motherfucker, it's on. And I was in so much fucking distress because I was just sitting there like,
You zig
I
when you
don't
should
know what
zag,
to-
my boy.
yeah, I was so confused of what to do, and like I didn't feel like I was doing things quick enough because like the final like pillars that you have to like get rid of with like combos and shit with everybody, and I'm bad at like multi like stacking elemental effects and shit. I'm really bad at like saving them and other things. So like first so I was like struggling through it and finally I beat it. I'm just like, oh yes, fuck you, you bitch. It took me forever to do that, man.
Honestly, this boss
It-
fight is less a thing of being worried for me about taking damage and more, worrying about the ooze.
Nothing can stop the smooth.
Oh god, the smooth.
Yes, as you can see, I grew up with Gen 3 My Little Pony, but I was able to watch the Gen 1 movie. Yes, I know, I know.
Hey, we're all cringe.
Yeah, fucking. So I am not old. I cannot see that. I just, for some reason, we have it, even though Gen 1 was not the fucking generation I was ever in at all, ever. For some reason, we have that. It's just like, okay, sure. So that is a childhood memory of mine.
Sounds
We also
traumatizing.
have. Well, I think less so traumatizing, more so when I was like really little, I had the, like before I became a tomboy, before I was MB, I had a very like girl, like kind of fucking like childhood. So I had like a ton of the fucking Barbie movies, I had a lot of My Little Pony shit, I had, you know, I was really into Care Bears, like, just a lot of things like that. Like, I think I had like a Barbie or two and a Monster High or two, but I didn't really play with like traditional dolls all that much. I didn't like. But yeah, so. Dude, I remember that, like, even as a kid, there was like after like 2010, there was like, for like the Barbie
gonna
movies,
take a
there's
while.
like, yeah, that's what I'm talking. So, for even as a kid, I noticed like, at like 2010, like the Barbie movies, like they started kind of getting shitty, bro. Or at least like later, pretty early on in 2010s, like they started falling off, not gonna lie. It started getting like really bad. The even childhood me was just like, these are kind of sucky.
Man.
Older movies.
I wouldn't know. I really only had specific Barbie movies that I watched.
Yeah.
Which
I had them
was,
all.
Barbie, Rapunzel,
Good.
very good one. I think it was Barbie and the 12 Dancing Princesses, also a good one in my opinion.
Yes. Yeah, absolutely.
Barbie in Fairytopia. And
Yeah, that one was pretty good.
God,
too.
I don't remember what it was, but it was a mermaid one.
Mermaid Tale, was it?
I think it was Mermaid Tale. It wasn't the one. It wasn't the mermaid one connected to Fairytopia, because I know there was one like that.
Yeah, there was, so yeah, Mermaid Tale then, where she's a surfer, but her hair suddenly turns pink one day, right?
Yeah. And then when she
Yeah,
goes
that was-
into like the ocean, she can like breathe just fine. And turns out
Yeah.
she's secretly a mermaid.
I will
Part
have
Or
mermaid,
part
yeah,
mermaid.
yeah. That that kind of gen was like when it started taking a pretty good quality dip for me. That was kind of the era was when I was just kind of like falling off and like the older ones were kind of better.
I didn't even necessarily watch that one a lot. It was just one of the ones I did have. I think I had two fairy Barbie movies, because there was one where Barbie was a
Yes.
human introduced to the fairy world, and one where Barbie was already a fairy. I think that's the one that had Bibble.
Oh god, where she was human but went to like a fairy world.
Yeah, where there were like people that were fairies around her in disguise as humans, and then they could turn.
That was around the Mermaid Tale era. Yeah, now I remember. Yeah, that one.
Like the story was about this evil queen or princess who took a love potion and fell in love with this human guy.
No, she was a good queen, but then she like took a love potion. and
Yeah,
turned
that's what
evil
I was
because she
saying.
drank love potion.
Or that's
Yeah.
what I was trying to get
Yeah,
across. It was cause of the love
Yeah.
potion.
Yeah, so that was around the Mermaid Tale kind of dip in quality.
Yeah.
So yeah.
But the ones I actually liked were Barbie Rapunzel and Barbie and the 12 Dancing Princesses. Those were the ones I would constantly go back to.
Correct choice. The older ones were better. Oh, I noticed that there was a very distinct lack of Princess and the Pop. That's the one that a lot
I
of
never
people
watched that
remember.
one.
Oh, from what I do remember, that one does like get the praise that it deserves from everybody's memories because it's pretty good.
I've never watched it, sadly. I wanted to, but I never got to.
solidified.
I might check to see if it's on
Yeah.
Netflix, because I think some of the Barbie movies are on Netflix.
Yeah. I think so too. And if not, it's fine. I slowly puts on my pirate hats. We can get it through totally legal means and watch together. Puts on iPads, but by totally legal means. I may have to do some searching, but I'm sure we can find it. It's okay.
Yes. We will do it through totally legal means. Nothing going on here, FBI agent in my computer. I don't know why I say it like they're actually in my computer rather than watching me through my computer. I love my computer. All my friends are inside it.
The better emoji movie is just about like FBI agents walking around inside a computer.
Oh my god. I thankfully never watched the Emoji Movie. I probably would have died if I did. From
Nor
just
did
sheer
I.
exposure.
Yeah, I didn't watch it either, but just like the trailers and watching just like one, maybe two movie reviews just to double check that it's as bad as the trailers. Everyone like showing clips of it, I'm just like, ugh. Yeah, no.
It just screams, look, we're hip with the kids.
Yeah, I believe they actually had like fully licensed like a Candy Crush fucking.
They did. They had an entire Candy Crush segment.
Yeah, which was just like, what? Why?
And apparently Candy Crush at the time also had an event going as well.
Yeah, so it was like official and approved, which why would you do that? Yeah, and I've not, especially after that, I've never touched Candy Crush. I never have before then, but after that, I'm especially like, nope, I'm not touching Candy Crush.
Man, that's fair, honestly.
Because, like, also, there's a billion other like it. Some I like a lot better because they were ingrained in my childhood. Bejeweled.
Man, Bejeweled moment.
Bejeweled was really good.
I've never actually played it, but I've heard good things.
Yeah, Bejeweled was really good.
Yes! Oh my god, that thing took a while.
Oh,
Ruined Serpent! Complete! Thank you, Zhongli, for the dramatic spear and dent.
yeah, very appropriately timed. Anyways, to the book while we talk, so that way somebody doesn't interrupt with his whine. But yeah,
His
Bejeweled.
wine whining.
Yeah. There's also another one that was like, I think it was called Puffle. I think, or some sort of like something that was like really close to it, at least. Um, that was just this, kind of very similar.
Oh boy.
That was just the same thing, but just like little creatures.
Boats
TM.
are made for transferring commodities back and
They
forth.
were just orbs with little eyes on them. They were really cute.
That sounds cute. Anyway, boats
Yeah,
are made for traveling back and forth.
yeah, but it was also like cool because it was like also like you didn't have like it wasn't just like a click and drag like one thing to another. That it was like kind of like a Rubik's cube situation where it could infinitely go in that like horizontal or vertical line as long as like one wasn't like locked and like as long as one didn't have like a lock around it and wouldn't like go like down, you could basically like Rubik's cube like across the entire fucking way sort of thing to like match them up
Man.
with like man, old Capcom before or no, old like no, it was Capcom
Capcom.
was no, it was oh god. Fucking no, it was Cap something. I think it was. Oh god, it was before that collaborate. They made Plants vs Zombies before Ubisoft got a hold of them? Question mark. I think it was Ubisoft.
I don't know. I don't know the lore.
Yeah, it was something Cap. It was something Cap. They made Plants vs Zombies and all these other games, PC games, and then a certain company got hold of them and their stuff and started fucking annihilating it with like built-in like money like grabs and shit
In-app
and
purchases.
yeah, in-app purchases and destroyed it with that until they went bankrupt and then held the entire rights to their games and then started fucking watering it down. But like before that, it's like yeah, their games were really fucking good. Plants vs Zombies, OG.
I fucking love Plants vs Zombies.
Yeah.
There's a zombie on your lawn. There's a zombie on your lawn. There's a zombie on your lawn. We don't want zombies on our lawn.
Wait, was it PopCap? I think it was PopCap. Hold on.
I think it was PopCap. That sounds familiar.
Yeah, it was PopCap. PopCap Games, yeah. PopCap also made like the Bejeweled, I do believe, and like
They did.
all these other.
I know that because in the plants and you can get Plants vs Zombies on Steam with like basically how it was originally. And one of the mini games is called Begooled.
Yeah.
It's very explicitly based on Bejeweled.
Quake.
So PopCap made like all these like PC games. They were really good before somebody got a hold of them.
I don't remember if I fought this thing before either. Well,
This layer looks familiar. I feel like you have, at least by proxy of helping me out.
anyway, good
think.
thing I have a bunch of Kentucky Fried Chicken.
Solidify.
Oh, I've never fought this thing before!
entry. Hi, hello.
Hi there.
I thought this area looked familiar. I apologize. That was me gaslighting you on AdSense, I guess.
Oh boy. No, this is in
Okay.
Sumeru, so you could have never been here before.
Oh. Oops. Well, good luck, hon.
Thanks. Anyway, yeah, I literally, my current health item of choice is literally the Kentucky Fried Chicken burger from that one sponsorship, KFC had with Genshin.
I will have order.
Which, that's still wild to me.
It happened. Like, there is no meme. Genshin collaborated with KFC.
Solidify.
Man. Can I
Attacking this guy right in his crotch.
can I just say it
Oh
was
fuck,
like
it's airborne.
KFC thing happened and like meanwhile meanwhile later Cookie Run Kingdom just like, oh yeah, by the way, for the 30th anniversary, here's Sonic the fucking Hedgehog, by the way.
I'm still low-key aggravated over the fact that that's not a fucking Sonic cookie, that's just Sonic. I won't be gaslit into thinking that's Sonic. Oh boy, this is gonna be difficult.
Isn't actually a thing, so like fucking like what were they supposed to do?
Turn him into a cookie!
Stabilize.
I don't think jellyfish cookie is a thing either, but that was recently put into the game.
I wouldn't know. I haven't been on Cookie Run Kingdom for a while now.
I have been on it religiously because my mind needs constant stimulation. There is no meme, I'm mentally ill.
Yeah. Holds up Mike to you. Do you ever feel like you're betraying either fandom by being into both?
No, because I don't give a fuck about the fandom.
Yeah. Sorry, not fandom, but just like fellow players, because I do know that they have there's a bit of contention between the two.
I don't care about the other players either, to be fair. I don't care. I like both games. I have OCs for both of them. Which, by the way, I would say that my Cookie Run Kingdom OC lore is a lot more unhinged than my Genshin OC lore.
Yeah, like, what was it? You have, like, fucking Anna's, like, a traveler from Mondstadt
Yeah.
to Leeway. And you have literal God!
Yeah, there's Anne who went from Mondstadt to Leeway, and there's not even a god, basically a false god who bears himself as basically a tyrant over this village, and oh yeah, literally gave another one of my OCs amnesia. And lives and rules via fear of the populace.
Yeah, I'd say there's kind of a difference there.
Star Cookie be a little fucked up. Okay, a lot fucked up.
Yeah,
But he was kind of intentionally meant that way. He's not meant to be a good person. Or cookie, whatever.
Yeah. One is a god, and one is a god and one's fucking a god.
There's a very distinction there. Although, I guess Blanc's backstory could also be considered a little out there.
Yeah, which is another... Let's see.
Which honestly, I really like the concept behind Blanc because Dory just had to mention the fact that using too many knowledge capsules can make you go basically brain dead or a walking library, as she put it. And I was like, oh, I can make a character out of that. And then I did. And we love Blanc.
We love Blanc.
Literally based off the idea that anyone who overuses knowledge capsules becomes a walking library, Blanc is literally only able to converse through essentially definitions and like articles and scientific journals and stuff like that. Blanc cannot hold a normal conversation.
Every oh my god, Blanc literally communicates with a neurodivergence by being mentally ill all the time.
What?
Blanc communicates with neurodivergence by being very not normal about the way he speaks all the time.
Yeah. Like, I made it so Blanc is canonically good at playing TCG, but if you wanted to learn from him, you'd have to just sit there while he recites literally the entire rulebook.
Yeah. That's the only reason why he literally has it memorized. There is no... He just does.
Because one of the knowledge capsules just happened, one of the knowledge capsules that he got his hands on, because I like to imagine to this day he still kind of sneaks them, because there is literally no more effect that can be had on him other than more knowledge now. So I like to imagine he just snuck a knowledge capsule recently that had a TCG rulebook, and that's how he has it memorized.
Yeah, I just imagine Keva just like...
Kave.
Or Kave, sorry, I see it and I just think it's it's just some way of saying Kevin, I'm sorry, I apologize. Kave! Don't let Briz hear. That Kave just... Kave just like comes back just to Blanc one day, just like, oh hey, there's like this new thing out, it's called TGG, have you heard of it? And then just like, Blanc starts like giving like the definition of it, and then just like, Kave just like, did you swallow another fucking ability?
Swallow? You don't eat them. You absorb the knowledge directly, basically into your brain.
Oh, I thought it was like...
No, it's not a literal capsule like a pill.
I thought they were. I thought that's what you meant by capsule.
It's like the size of a pear. You couldn't swallow it.
Oh, I thought it was like a pill.
No.
Oops.
That's actually, cause I like coming up with ideas for the attack patterns in my OCs. Blanc's, elemental skill is throwing a knowledge capsule full of just pure dendro energy, because Blanc just has a lot of knowledge capsules, full and empty, and the empty ones just get filled with dendro energy.
Okay, yeah. I thought it was just like a squip thing from like Be More Chill.
No.
And it was just like a capsule full of
It's
just
a
like
gray oblong pill, quantum nanotechnology CPU.
I wouldn't be surprised if Genshin had some form of that where it was just tech in a pill. I wouldn't be surprised. So that's why we're just like, oh, knowledge capsule's a pill, probably. Okay, yeah, sure. That sounds about right for Genshin. I wouldn't have batted a fucking eye. I didn't know it was like pear.
Well, I say it's pear size. Yeah, you get the idea. It's basically something that you can hold in the palm of your hand, but it's fairly large. You couldn't swallow it like that. You'd probably choke.
Okay, I didn't know. I thought. Man,
Now the mental imagery of Blanc trying to swallow a knowledge capsule is really funny.
Just like taking a squip pill and just like turn like. Oh. And I mean, like, if you're not supposed to take too much, like, that could, like, capsule overdosing, like...
Yeah. I do think it is kind of a reference to drug abuse, but instead of with actual drugs, it's with knowledge.
Yeah, I thought that was just like, okay, so it's a knowledge capsule, you can overdose on it. Okay, it's a pill. Alright, gotcha.
It's not a pill.
Yeah,
I mean, capsule
Man.
just is another word for a container. Technically.
It is. Like, the fact that it's like, very has, like, things of, like, idea of, like, drugs and, like, overdosing things. So I just thought it was just, like, a pill.
Solidify.
but yeah, point being, sorry. Then excuse me, just like. Anyways, Blanc just like recites like a short summary of TCG, and then just Keva is like standing there like
Kave.
Kave. God damn it! And then Kave's just standing there like, Blanc, did you absorb another fucking knowledge capsule? Just
Blanc is quietly hiding the now empty capsule behind himself.
Stabilize.
Kave, Blanc. What have I told you about fucking absorbing new knowledge capsules? God damn it!
Runs.
Solidify.
Just like chases after him. Anyways, if we can't tell,
Ah!
we've been talking to Briz about Blanc being like Kave's like roommate
Or
on case.
I guess technically Al Hatham and Kave's roommate because they're roommates. But yeah, in Blanc's lore, he is a close friend of sorry, I need to take a second to breathe.
You take a breath, pet pet.
He's a close friend of Kave's, at least before he went missing, because yeah, that happened. And then they reunited, and now, because, Blanc is essentially, oh god, how do I put this?
A zombie?
I wouldn't say zombie's the right way to put it. I guess the best way to put it is equating it to, someone who has some kind of mental disorder that just makes things in general kind of hard for them. Kave doesn't want Blanc to just be living by themselves. So Kave had to basically convince Al Hatham, like, come on, man, please. But the idea is that Blanc will often, because basically his entire brain is just the. Yes, we know about osmanthus wine. But basically just the contents of the knowledge capsules. He often forgets basic necessities like eating. So, Blanc has to consistently be reminded with stuff like little notes. And it just, Blanc really can't live on their own. They can work just fine, they can function, but they do need some help. Be reminded.
Yeah.
Anyway, I'm gonna be right back. I'm gonna grab another drink because I'm out. God, that Drake, a Neon Blight Drake is possible to solo a Zhongli. Next is the this fucking thing. Overseer Network. I'll be right back. Oh my god, that took a while.
Anyway, so how you been? So how you been, guys? What's up? Uh, I hope y'all been good. Been good, been happy, been safe and healthy. I Oh right. Hey guys, I'm grabbing you. Did you eat today? Did you take your meds? Did you drink enough water? Have you gotten enough sleep lately? I don't know why I'm grabbing you. I'm sorry. I was just making sure that y'all are good. Y'all are happy and healthy, or at least not having too horrible of a day. And if you're having a bad day, don't worry, me too. Hello.
Yo. Okay, so sorry, I'm giggling a bit.
Why are you giggling so much?
Because I went to go get a drink, right?
Okay.
And my brother, he does not have his computer in his room. He has his at the front of the house. Like, you know, when you just walk into a house, you turn to the right and he's there. Which is helpful because our rooms are like right next to each other, which it means while I'm streaming / recording, I don't hear him. We don't really disturb each other. It's very useful for that. But I have to go in his general proximity in order to get my drinks. And he's playing a video game, talking with his friends, and I just hear him say, "What the hell? I have an assault rifle?" And it was very out of context, but very entertaining.
I mean, that is a good question. He has an assault rifle?
Apparently, my brother obtained an assault rifle in whatever game he's playing. We play very different genres of games. However, as far as I'm aware, he does play Honkai Impact. So, but my
The newer one.
yeah, my brother leans more towards first-person shooters, while I lean more towards story and role-playing games. Because he's just there to play it, I'm here for the lore. Okay. Now, unlike the last few, I've actually fought this thing before. Can I
Man,
just say,
speaking of
I fucking love the aesthetic of Sumeru, even though being inside tombs like this, or tomb-style things like this, is horrifying to me. It is very aesthetically nice. Anyway, you were saying?
yeah. Also, speaking of Honkai Star Rail, have you like seen much of it besides like the trailers and stuff? Because I know that
No.
they're okay. Because I know that Hoyoverse, aka the people behind Genshin, are also making that. So
I don't know anything about it. I'd prefer to stay focused on Genshin right now, especially because
Yeah,
it's still updating.
yeah. Listen, I already have one gacha game that I'm obsessed with. I don't need two.
I already have 2. I don't need a third.
Oh right, because
Cookie Run.
yeah, yeah. So I have two. I don't need a third. Made by the same company that made one of them.
Probably just cause, oh wow, the leg. Oof. Anyway, sorry, I got distracted. It's probably just cause of the environment, but this place is reminding me of the Hole Puncher from Paper Mario. Cause, you know, his boss fight is, also, like, underground in a temple, in an Egyptian-style place, you know? So I'm just looking around, I'm thinking of the Hole Puncher from Paper Mario and the Origami King. Which I fucking love that game, and I do plan on... Well, technically I'm already in the process of making a video on it. I've started writing a script, but I haven't gotten to it in a bit. But I do want to make a video on it, because I absolutely adore this game. And I don't care what anyone else says.
Stabilize. Solidify.
Fuck.
Also, I love how you say just like because like the environments like of Honkai Star Rail just like is kind of different to me, and I'm just looking at it and I'm just like they look the same to me.
I don't know how different it is.
Yeah, just like something about like the way it is, just it's like yeah, there's some futuristic elements, but I'm just like for most of it, it looks the same. Looks like the same fucking game.
Yeah, it just kind of looks like Genshin Plus.
Yeah, it kind of does, especially with the character designs. I feel like they would just the other Genshin characters. So I'm just sitting here like, like Hoyoverse. Like maybe let's focus on one at a time, especially because one of them is 3 years old.
Mm-hmm.
Stabilize. I will have order. Gather.
I literally just have Hole Puncher's boss theme playing in my head right now. In my video or in my script that I have so far, for, Paper Mario and the Origami King, it's actually focused on the Legion of Stationery because they're probably my favorite part of the game. Or at least one of the big favorites of the game. It's one of the reasons I love the game so much. I guess is basically how I guess you could put it like that. I don't know. I'm running in circles around my own words. The point is, I really like the Legion of Stationery. I think they add a lot. I don't have electro. Fuck. But yeah, I wanted to make a video specifically about them because of how much it impacts my enjoyment of the game, which basically what I mean is I like the game a lot more because of how much I love the Legion of Stationery. Like, if the Legion of Stationery weren't there, I'd probably still like the game, but I don't think I'd have the same level of enjoyment, you know? Because there are a lot of things in that game that I love, but the Legion of Stationery is definitely a big part of it. But that's probably just because I'm a sucker for characterization.
Solidify.
Which is kind of weird to say about office supplies, but you know.
You'd have to play it to get it, bro.
You'd have to play it to get it, bro. Or in the case with you, watch a playthrough of it.
I will have order.
I would have played it for you, but I don't really have a very cohesive method of streaming it.
Solidify.
Yeah, stream and Switch games.
I would love to stream Switch games, especially like Splatoon, but it is a struggle. And the last time I tried to do it, I couldn't figure out how to get the music to work.
Stabilize.
Although maybe that's just a skill issue on my part.
But you can capture the video?
I could capture the video, but not the audio.
Oh.
I couldn't.
That,
I for some reason couldn't get the audio capture to work. I don't know why.
Order guide you.
But like I said, that could just be a skill issue on my part.
yeah, I mean, that could definitely be figured out if, like, you capture the video.
I
but
definitely
that's not
do have the capture card still, so maybe I could ask my dad about helping me set it back up again.
Yeah.
Oh, it's so close. Oh, I'm so close. Come on. There we go. System shock.
Yeah, I feel like for Splatoon, as long as you can hear it,
Yeah.
yeah, as long as you can hear it, I don't think, like, having no audio would be that bad.
Mm. Yeah.
For, like, Splatoon things.
But if it's something for like Paper Mario, I definitely want to share the music because it is so fucking good.
Fair enough.
The OST is another reason why I love that game so much. I fucking love the OST. I fucking love game OST. I love being immersed in the story. I love how it immerses me in the story. How many wishes do I have? 24. Yeah. Okay, so the overseeing matrix or whatever the fuck that thing was called. Yeah, overseer matrix of overseer network. You can also defeat that with only Zhongli. I'm breathing, bro. I'm breathing.
But you can.
What?
I said it takes a minute, but you can.
Yeah, it takes a minute, but I can. Let's try the Icewind Suite. And technically, there are two versions of this. I don't. Should I pick one or do both? Because I feel like I
Where
should
do you
do
want to go
both.
next? If you'd like to see
Well, I
Leroy's
mean, there's already like 20 something, so I would object to just doing one.
Okay, let's just do the one. Maybe we can do the other one in a different stream.
Yeah.
Anyway, once again, plugging my most recent video. Plug, 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 plug.
Also, I apologize if you hear dogs in my background, dear audience. I have dogs.
Dog. But yeah, the reason I'm plugging that video so hard is, like I said, I do want to make more content like it, but also because that did take me a good amount of time. I think like three or 4 weeks to finish it, and most of that was just writing the script. But I am seriously really proud of the result of it, so that's why I want to push it so much. And I'm actually very happy with how the video is doing so far because I've been I'm gonna admit I've been obsessively watching the view count, and it currently has more views than my Zhongli video, which was previously like one of my most well performing videos. At least that's exclusively my content, because technically speaking, my most well performing video is the chaos one, which isn't my content, so I don't count that. But now this recent commentary video on Shadowrup is doing very well, which, by the way, there's like a whole thing connected to some of the folks in that chain, which I very intentionally didn't bring up. One, because it wasn't very relevant to the video, and two, because there was a fucking lot. Like, Rye, do you remember the OG Scout person that was mentioned in that video?
Yes.
I ended up looking a bit more into who the person was. I originally couldn't find their channel, so I settled for finding a video on the guy from Barrel Core. Very good commentator, we'll say. And apparently this guy, well, not even apparently, it was very apparent, actually. He made a video on Destroyer Shy, one of the people on the chain. And there's no way to put this lightly. He pretty much said that not even pretty much, there's no way to put this lightly. He directly said that because someone didn't kill themselves, that they were not suicidal.
What the fuck?
Yeah. And also pretty much implied that if Destroyer Shy is, that they should just do it. Which, in hindsight, it completely makes sense why Shadowruff would be so angry. However, I don't think I'd like to go back and revisit that in the video, simply because Shadowruff was still like showing extreme double standards. Which, because the point of my video wasn't the person didn't deserve it, it was you're saying something and then going and doing that thing that you said not to do.
Yeah, exactly. The point still stands either way, but...
No, I'm not at all defending OG Scout, is basically my point here.
Yeah, not at all, cause wow, that is a claim to make.
That is definitely a take, I guess.
Wow. Okay.
And like, as someone who deals with mental health struggles, what the fuck?
Yeah, literally anybody who has any mental health issues, or anybody that's just
Oh,
a
fuck.
decent person can tell you, that is not how that works.
Yeah, no.
I will have order.
Yeah, but that wasn't really the point. Like and again, that wasn't really that didn't really have an effect on the point I was making in the video. So I do want to address it, at least in general. I may bring it up again in a separate video because I don't know how many people watch my live streams. I don't stand behind OG Scout at all. I'm glad that his channel is gone now, because dear lord, that is a take.
That is a take.
A very
Yeah.
incorrect take. But that wasn't the general point I was trying to make in that segment where I was getting onto Shadowruff for the bits about OG Scout. Even though in hindsight, because I didn't know this at the time of making or uploading my video, I do kind of agree with Shadowruff on the rage. I do think it is justified. However, that does not mean Shadowruff can say that you shouldn't get angry at someone in a video and then proceed to get angry at someone in that same
Yeah.
video. Like,
Yeah.
not even an interjection later.
Yeah, that...
Stabilize.
And to be
Yeah,
fair,
that-
OG Scout wasn't the only person Shadowruff made a bit about being angry at. There was also a guy named Keyblade Master who, although admittedly did also have some problems come out about him afterwards, that's still not the point. Like, you can still be a shit person to a shit person.
Yeah, yeah.
Careless.
That doesn't mean I'm necessarily defending Keyblade Master or OG Scout. It's just I have opinions on
Yeah.
double standards, I guess.
Yeah.
Which is, don't go and say, you can't just do this thing and then proceed to turn around and do that very thing that you're getting on someone else's case for doing.
Yeah.
Stabilize.
It's very telling, I guess is the best way to put it. In which, on one hand, I think maybe addressing, like, what OG Scout did could do something to the point of, like, maybe I could do something to add on to that point, but then again, I feel like it's not relevant, mainly because Shadowruff doesn't go out of his way to explain his hatred for OG Scout in the video. Like I said in my commentary video, actually. Shadowruff talks about OG Scout in a similar vein of Destroyer Shy's mention of Tony Sonic, in that someone just coming across Shadowruff's video would have no idea who OG Scout was, or why Shadowruff was so angry at him. So I feel like me not knowing that what OG Scout did actually kind of adds on to that point in a way. Because that makes me an example. Like, anecdotally, like, it's anecdotal evidence, I know, but I didn't address what OG Scout did simply because I didn't know. For all I knew, he was just someone who, I don't know, just did something bad, or had a bad take. Which, to be fair, yeah, he did have an extremely poor take, in putting it lightly. But, still, I don't know.
Yeah. No, you have a point. That's certainly a take, and definitely requires, like, probably another addendum. I know you probably don't want to add too many, but it's definitely, like, worth mentioning. Just like, hey, I
may
pointed this
make
out.
a follow-up video, because I feel like that would be a lot better to point to rather than something in the description.
Yeah, that's fair.
But I don't feel like I should go back and remake my video simply because the context of Shadowruff misdoings doesn't add anything simply because not Shadow, the context of OG Scout's misdoings doesn't add anything to the video simply because Shadowruff does not try to make his audience aware. And it's kind of on Shadowruff to make us aware.
Yeah, but like, point being, I feel like just like adding on something into the conversation that's just like, okay, so I found this out, and wow, yeah, no, not defending him, but also.
Oh, I'm in no way defending OG Scout. As I said, with someone who deals with mental health struggles, I do not at all agree with his extremely harmful take. Because that's what it is. It's harmful. It's destructive. It's dangerous. I'm not defending it.
I will have order.
Yeah, just like, yeah, well, no, just like, I'm not defending it. However, there is the point of just like.
Because there's nuance.
Yeah, it still doesn't change like the main point of just like, you're kind of saying something, but not 100% like leaning into like what, like, you're not informing anybody of anything. You're just making pot shots when you can, when it's not at all related to the topic you're talking about. Like, yes, that certainly is a thing to be
Yeah.
mad about.
Like, no, Shadowruff has every right to be mad at OG Scout, especially because, as far as I'm aware, Shadowruff and Destroyer Shy are friends, or at least Shadowruff considers Destroyer Shy a friend. So, yeah, no, he has every right to be mad at OG Scout. I just feel like the way he was presenting it in his video was very poor and leaves a lot to be desired because his audience would not be immediately made aware just by watching that video.
Yeah, exactly. Like,
I even
like,
said, like, in my video, I don't think it's inherently wrong to be mad to make a point or a joke. If he wanted to get mad in that video at OG Scout, then I wouldn't necessarily have a problem with it if he explained it. Or, didn't say, you can't just be mad at someone for comedy and then get mad at someone implied for comedy or natural point. Either way, it'd be bad if he were to use double. Well, not that would it be bad. It's just that that's double standards on his part.
yeah, totally. Just like, point being, just like, yeah, nothing to do with the main video. So
Yeah.
just like.
That's
So just like.
That's not even to say he couldn't address the OG Scout thing in the video at all, because it does have reference to Destroyer Shy, who is in that video. However, then you would have to acknowledge that this happened after Emo's video, and therefore doesn't really have anything to do with this degree chain. Because
Yeah,
Emo couldn't have known, it hadn't happened yet. At least as far as I'm aware of the timeline.
yeah, it's exactly. So like, point being, just like if you're gonna
Every
explain,
journey
then
has its
explain. It
final
doesn't have a
finish.
major thing to
Don't
do with
worry.
it, but just like maybe just like in between like remakes, this is something that happens, and I feel like this is worthy of note of just like what you shouldn't do, blah blah blah.
Oh yeah, Shadowruff. Like, honestly, he has every right to talk about someone who is being a fucking asshole and give his opinion on
Where
that.
do you want to go
That's
next?
not
Yeah.
what I'm saying. I think
If you'd
everyone
like
has
to
their
see Liyue's
can
tourist
give their
spots,
opinion on
I
something,
have a
especially
few
if they feel strongly about it, which Shadowruff clearly did. It's just that the way he did it was in poor form, which was my issue. Especially as someone who went in without the context of the situation with OG Scout. I had no idea why Shadowruff was mad at this person who, again, wasn't even in the degree chain.
Yeah,
And,
so like
yeah. But I guess, like, it's a bit of a good lesson for me to learn as well, that there's a lot of more nuances to situations than I may realize at a first glance. And while I do, like, what I don't really want to touch on drama on my video, which is why I didn't go super far into the Tony Sonic situation, also because it wasn't extremely relevant. Well, mostly because it was irrelevant. I like to look at videos as they stand. That's originally what I was going to do with Shadowruff's video, but then he told me he didn't want a video made on him, and I thought maybe I can use this to further expand upon my points. Or maybe I should further expand upon my points to really get at what I'm trying to talk about here, because it was a sort of repeated behavior thing. Not to say that I think Shadowruff is a bad person. I think he just made bad videos. That's pretty much it. Like, I got nothing
Yeah.
against the guy, personally. I didn't know who he was until I saw Doodle Tone's video on him, and then I was like, man, I wonder what he's up to nowadays. Like, after a few months after that, I saw he made another remake. I saw it had some of the same issues, and I was like, I kind of want to commentate on that. There was, like, no ulterior motive of not liking the guy. Like, you know, honestly, I think he can improve. I maybe just like dust his hands of the situation with his response on Emo's video. Move on and like improve. That's not me saying like, oh, you should never bring this up again. I think it may be good for him if he just moves on from that video, but that's not to say he can't bring it up ever again or he can't remake it. I wouldn't recommend it, but still. Well, I'm trying to speak. Basically, what I'm trying to say is I wasn't trying to police Shadowruff's whole thoughts on the OG Scout situation or trying to defend him. It's just that the way it was presented in Shadowruff's video was oh great, another enemy I haven't fought yet. Wasn't the best. And that's putting it a bit lightly.
Yeah.
I kind of
Just-
wish I had known about the OG Scout stuff going in, and I'm gonna keep that in mind for future videos. Try to do a bit more research so I can have context, and like I said, I probably will make a follow-up video because I don't feel like a proper description or comment addendum can do right by that kind of situation.
Yeah, that's fair. Yeah. Just I feel like it's very like I don't. This is tough because like I want to say I
It's a
don't
very
want.
nuanced situation.
Yeah, just so like it now it's just a thing of just like should it be a long video or short video because like you don't want to like feel like you're brushing over this point like really fast because it's a serious like topic and situation, especially for a lot of people involved. But like
I
at the
would
same
say
time, it's, like,
it should
going,
be as long as it needs to be. Like going over my points in my video where I brought up OG Scout and where I was completely unaware, bring up my intentions with that point originally, and then go into what I found out about OG Scout after the fact and how that simultaneously doesn't really change my point, but makes me realize that I should have expanded on this knowing what I know now.
yeah.
So it'd basically be addressing the original point, going over my research into the new thing,
Yeah.
and then like doing an addendum on that point.
Yeah. Alright, yeah, because I didn't want to like it feel like too short to make everything feel like dismissal.
I'm
you
not
know?
gonna make a video that's like, hey, I didn't know about the OG Scout stuff at the time. I didn't mean to defend the guy. I'm sorry. End the video. I'd want to go more in depth on it.
Yeah, but also like not make it too like lengthy.
Yeah, I'm not gonna make
I
an
guess-
hour. I'm not gonna try to make it an hour-long video. It's like I said, it's going to be as long as it needs to be.
Yeah.
I'm not going to brush over it, but I'm also not going to go on a long, deep dive on OG Scout's history, because frankly, I don't know it.
Yeah.
Just-
frankly, plus that's kind of like
a pointless
what?
tangent.
Pointless tangent. Also, a very kind of yikes kind of conversation to have in general.
Yeah.
I feel like.
Yeah. Although now knowing what I know, if I had known about the OG Scout originally, I definitely would have brought that up in my video because that does bring a lot of context, in hindsight, into why Shadowruff made like those interjections directed at OG Scout. But I do still have my criticisms.
Criticism and some recommendations if like
Yeah.
it's gonna be being brought up.
Yeah. Because, like I said, I'm not even against the idea of Shadowruff expressing his anger at OG Scout. I feel like Shadowruff has every right to do so, considering what OG Scout said. I just didn't like the execution.
Yeah, the execution could be better, but and yeah, the double standards is a thing, but like you have absolutely every right to be angry, and okay. Because that,
I wasn't even saying that he couldn't be angry. That wasn't my point. But
yeah,
I,
but
I,
just in
I
case,
think in hindsight it can come across like that.
yeah,
Even
but
though
like,
I did say like I don't think there's anything necessarily wrong with being angry to make a joke or make a point, but I do think it could come across like that to someone. So if I were so yeah, I'm gonna make a follow-up video. I'll definitely address that. I'm not trying to like police someone's emotions or like their response to a situation.
yeah, exactly. So just like in general, just like yes, like yeah, the like double standards is a thing. Yeah, there should have been a different way to format it. But
Yeah.
however, comma, just like you have absolutely every right to be angry.
Yeah.
Like if you didn't have the double standard and just like admit that like yeah, you get angry at people, then be angry at him, and that is absolutely valid of you to be angry at, because yeah, he's a fucking dick. That's a
He's a fucking asshole, and I'm glad his channel's gone. Like, to be
yeah,
frank, knowing what I know, I don't like OG Scout, if that isn't obvious.
yeah,
But I don't know, I feel like it's a topic of conversation to be had, because nuances and stuff like that.
yeah. And it's only fair to like make sure that that's clear.
Yeah. I don't know if Shadowruff is aware of my video, but if he is, then I hope that he'd also be aware of the follow-up I plan to make, you know? Because I don't want it to come across as you can't be angry at this guy. And
Yeah,
like I said, I realize in hindsight, maybe because of me completely not addressing that situation, it may have seemed like that.
yeah, dismissal.
Yeah. But like I said, that's because there were nuances to the situation I wasn't previously made aware of. And that's a bit on me of not doing research into who OG Scout was, but to be fair, that's because I didn't find anything on him, because I think when I was doing the research, his channel was gone already. But
Yeah,
it does also fall a bit on Shadowruff as the presenter to make his audience aware. So I do think maybe it should have fallen on me to do my proper research for the video. But yeah.
yeah. But from an
I do
audience
I
perspective,
do feel like from an audience perspective it's a good thing to bring up.
yeah, yeah, for sure.
Yeah. Like there's a lot of nuances to it. I get it,
Yeah.
like that's what it boils down to, nuance.
And what my point boils down to is just I didn't want to seem too short, but also like having it too long could come across as like a YouTube apology video, which nobody
No.
wants.
No.
Nobody wants to hear that, so that's why I'm concerned about its length, because you don't want to be dismissive about it, but nor
No.
do you want to go make it
It
an apology video.
Yeah, it'd just be it'd be a thing of addressing my point in the video and what my intentions were. Address like what OG Scout did, and then have a basically addendum to my point with that in mind. Uh,
Yeah,
so it would be me just addressing where I was misinformed, or I guess not misinformed, or just unaware of
Osmanthus wine
circumstances.
tastes the same
Yes,
as I
Zhongli, I
remember.
know.
But where are
And
those?
basically addending my point in a follow-up video. I know that's a very like off the top. I know that like that has nothing to do with what we were talking about before in the stream. But to be fair, we just kind of been talking about random stuff. I
yeah,
just felt like I should have talked about. I should talk about it like publicly at some point, and I wasn't sure if I should make a video or not. Because on one
yeah,
hand, I don't want to make a big deal of drama, but on the other hand, I do feel like it is something I should address at the very least.
yeah, and like genuinely address it.
Yeah.
Yeah, which is a good thing to do.
Yeah, I'm being very candid right now because streamed. This isn't scripted, But I am being completely genuine when I say that I don't at all defend what OG Scout did. Shadowruff had every right to be angry at him for what he did.
Yeah.
Like, honestly,
Just like,
if I were in Shadowruff's situation and someone said something like that to my friend, I would be pissed too. I don't even know this guy and I'm pissed.
yeah, exactly. Just like, yeah, like there's the double standards thing which needs to be addressed. So at the same time, I'm half of the mind of just like, even if it's double standards, fuck it, this dude deserves it.
Yeah, this dude does definitely deserve the vitriol.
Yeah, even if it's even if it was double standards on Shadowruff's part, I argue because of what he did, that can be just like, I feel like I can
Oh, well.
definitely be like, okay, I'll like make exceptions to that because fuck that.
I still feel like that doesn't justify the Keyblade Master points, though.
Yeah, at least as far as we're aware of him.
I mean, Keyblade Master isn't a good person either, based on information that came out afterwards, but at the very least, it wasn't directed at Destroyer Shy. Shadowruff was just mad at him because of a pot shot he made in a video, because he didn't know that a Shadowruff apparently apologized or disowned a video or something.
Yeah, so, but like, but point being, yeah, fucking, yeah, that's a wholly different thing. However, OG Scout, fuck that. Even
Fuck
if it's
that
double
guy.
yeah, even if it's double standards, I would personally be like, okay, you know what? Even if it's double standard, that's kind of just desserts for that fucker. Just like
Yeah.
kick him to the moon.
Kick him directly to the moon. Go straight to space. Don't come back. We don't want you here.
Yeah. Throw down Wheatley while you're up there.
God.
Anyways, we are also making jokes during the scripts because we weren't aware at the time. We were just like, what did Spy's mother fuck him, and that's why he's on this like.
Yeah, I feel like maybe I should like bring that up too at the very least here. I was kind of making some jokes at Shadowruff's expense because I was unaware of the situation with OG Scout. I thought it was just kind of needless rage because I didn't know the context at the time, which again, that does kind of mostly fall on me as someone who was making a video to do my due diligence, but from an audience perspective, I do think Shadowruff should have brought it up.
Yeah.
And like in hindsight, those jokes are very tasteless. But then again, like I said, I didn't know the context at the time, so hindsight being 2020.
Yeah, I feel like it wasn't even jokes at his expense. It wasn't that. It was just jokes of just like.
Jokes of the general situation from what we were aware of.
Yeah, it was more jokes towards OG Scouts than his, or just sort of like, Spy fuck his mother and decide to fuck everybody else's mother. Is that what's happening?
Yeah.
That was the joke. That wasn't really much towards Shadowruff, I don't think. At least that was my thing.
Yeah, that was the basic idea, but I can see how it might come across as... I can see how it comes across as tactless kind of in hindsight.
Yeah, in hindsight, but we didn't know at the time, so that's why I'm just like, that was okay because we didn't know, and also that was towards OG Scout instead of Shadowruff, so I didn't feel like it was that bad.
Also, now that we know what OG Scout did, we can definitely say, yeah, Spy probably fucked his mom.
Yeah, exactly.
Fuck that guy.
Yeah, exactly. The joke that I was leading up to, of just like, you know what, deserved.
Deserved. Fuck that guy. Genuinely a disgusting person.
Yeah.
As I said before, I don't think Shadowruff is a bad person. I do think OG Scout is gross, though. I do think he's genuinely a disgusting person.
Yeah, that's...
Because there's ignorance and then there's that.
There's ignorance, then just telling like a suicidal person that they're not suicidal and to kill themselves to prove it. That's absolutely... That's horrid to do.
Yeah, no, that is fucking disgusting.
Yeah. That is...
If anyone wants proper context, I do highly recommend Barrel Chord's video on OG Scout. In my follow-up video, I'll probably reference it because that's where I actually got my information. Because, like I said, OG Scout's channel is gone, so all his videos are also gone.
Yeah.
She addresses the video in question and does a very good job of it.
Yeah, very good, very good. But just like now that that came out, like right before or just as we uploaded it, yeah, that's.
This was something I found out after the video was already uploaded. I didn't know writing the script. I didn't know editing. I didn't know while it was scheduled to go up.
Yeah.
And like I said before, like from an audience perspective, it does kind of fall on Shadowruff to make his audience aware. But as a commentator, as someone who's coming into the situation, I should have done the proper research and done my due diligence to find out what was going on there.
Yeah, and also like I don't think Shadowruff made any videos on it as well is the thing, cause like maybe you could like excuse that of just like he assumes that his audience is already caught up with it because he made another video on it. Maybe.
There is a video vaguely about OG Scout, which I did reference in my video by showing the thumbnail, but that doesn't really give much information either, from what I'm remembering. It's basically along the same lines of it's basically along the same lines of that whole interjection where he took a song that says "If you litter, we'll beat you and throw you out," and pointing at Shadowruff. It was basically not Shadowruff pointing at OG Scout. It was basically along the same lines as that. So I was completely unaware of what this guy did.
Okay, so even the video that he referenced, you looked it up and like there was nothing on it.
No, Shadowruff didn't make a video referencing OG Scout videos directly. He was addressing OG Scout directly, but not what he did or the video. So
Okay.
I couldn't find anything from Shadowruff about it.
Okay, so like no, didn't make a formal video about OG. Okay, I was just wondering about that.
Anything I could find was vague and just referring to OG Scout as a monster, which, yeah, totally agree now in hindsight.
Yeah, with
Boats are
hindsight,
made
yeah,
for transferring commodities
absolutely.
back and
Oh
forth.
yeah, definitely.
And those that come across Leo tend to stay a while.
So, but yeah, that
It's a whole
yeah, 'cause
situation.
it's a situation. But yeah, I was gonna say, like, if Sheriff did make a video, maybe he thought that like his viewers would watch that video and be like, oh, I already know the situation because he already made a video on it that's dedicated to it. But if not, then yeah, that was that at that
But
point
there's
that's
also
kind
the
of
thing when it comes to specific information where you do have to make sure that someone just coming across your video could also be made aware of it as well.
okay. Yeah, that is true. But
Because,
like if
like, again, anecdotally, I just came across him via Doodletone's video. I was only paying attention to the videos he made on Emo to see where he went from there.
okay, yeah, that is fair, but I can see where the logic would be driven if that was a thing.
Yeah.
Oh, my audience like watches my videos, so surely they must be caught up on like my videos like on OG Scouts, and I could see the logic in that. That made sense to me.
Yeah.
Like maybe freshly
Like,
coming in.
definitely in hindsight, Shadowruff can be given a lot of benefit of the doubt when it comes to, his whole thing.
Yeah.
I was just unaware and unable to give him at the time. So
Yeah, because everything was deleted, so
everything was deleted. There were commentaries on it, but I was looking for direct sources at the time, which again,
yeah.
that kind of falls on me in the end when making a video.
Yeah,
So
I feel like
it is a good lesson for me to try and look a bit more into things if I'm going to talk about them. Especially
yeah,
if it's connected to a drama, even if I'm not going to be talking about the drama aspect of it, I should at least make myself aware so I know all the context.
yeah, but I feel like that's a good like step that you took. Of just like you tried to find
Yeah.
direct videos, find them because everything was deleted, and went, okay, I guess that's just like a comment that I'll never be able to figure out.
Yeah.
So I feel like that's like fair enough. Just like, but your is a commentary video, yes, but like that's I feel like that's less so on you because like at that point everything was taken down and deleted and all the direct sources were kind of cut out, and so you'd have to like get it from like third party, which is kind of a risky thing to do in general
Yeah.
because
Although
have just
lately the SCC, the Sideshow Commentary Community, has been really good at archiving stuff in more recent years from what I've seen.
yeah,
But
so
I still wish I had done a bit more digging instead of looking for the direct source of the video.
yeah, and it just like even then, just like even with like archives and like third-party videos, even with that, that's kind of just like a kind of a I feel like that's kind of like diving deeper into a thing that seems like so surface level with that video, and also just like in general, just like I don't know. To me, it feels like that makes sense why you couldn't find anything because who would first think because of a small comment or joke or two to look into it as deep as you can into like archives and taters? Like nobody would think that at first. I don't think.
Yeah. But it is a good lesson for me to learn. I still think.
Yeah, it's a good lesson now with hindsight, but like I feel like the logic makes sense to me.
Yeah. Now I just know that next time I should look a little bit deeper if something I'm talking about is connected to a drama. Though,
Yeah.
to be fair, I didn't know how connected OG Scout was to that drama. That's giving myself some benefit of the doubt, but still.
And like my understanding of the video was the you like addressed all the OG Scout like jokes that were in the video, and so from the video that I've seen that has all those jokes, it's just like those were just jokes.
Oh
and
yeah,
I wouldn't have.
I barely cut anything out of the video. There was some bit where I did address I was skipping, but all those parts that I skipped, none of them had more context to the OG Scout stuff.
Yeah, so like from the bits and pieces that were there that you didn't skip, that therefore contained all the
And
OG
also,
Scout stuff.
I do have the original video linked in my description. I downloaded before it was deleted and posted as unlisted for archiving purposes. So it's like you can also go there if you want to see it. But all the OG Scout videos were in my video because they were relevant to my point.
Yeah, exactly. So from the bits and pieces I've seen of your video, because so from the bits and pieces I've seen of your video, yeah, I wouldn't have assumed it was drama even. I would have assumed that it was all just jokes at somebody's expenses. I wouldn't have assumed it was any sort of drama at all. I wouldn't have been aware of it.
I knew about the Keyblade Master thing because, like I said, I watched Doodletone's video and she addresses it. And by going to the Keyblade Master directly and asking him about it, and also looking at her herself as well, she addresses it. Is my point. But I didn't really know about the OG Scout stuff.
Yeah,
I think
which,
I don't know if Doodletone's fully addressed it other than a passing mention. Because
yeah.
in the original two videos, OG Scout was never mentioned, so.
Okay. Yeah, so like for me, like those like jokes that were like in the video, yeah, I wouldn't have assumed that there was drama. I'm gonna be honest. I thought it was just like some sort of like internal joke or just like some sort of person that they later blot. I wouldn't have assumed that there was drama about it at all.
Yeah.
Um so yeah, I would that would have flied right over my head. And the thing is just like cuz I know like Shah has in his description that he's on the spectrum, if I'm remembering correctly.
Yeah. When I was looking into his video, I became aware because of briefly when he had been covered by Lunatic the Game, another member of the SEC, and Doodle Tones. They both said that they don't know if Shadow Ref's first language is English, which is why I also mentioned it in my video because he does kind of come across that way. No, that's no hate to him. But I did look in his channel description to see if maybe I could find something from the source, and that does mention that he is on the spectrum.
Yeah, and I'm also on the. I'm assuming when he says spectrum, it means autism
Yes,
spectrum
autism.
because
It
yeah,
was directly mentioning autism. I'm just saying on the
yeah,
spectrum because
yeah,
I don't know. It gets the same across the same thing, especially because I don't know what kind of
yeah,
autism he
exactly.
has
Yeah,
because it's
exactly.
spectrum
So
disorder.
yeah, I was just like making sure it was another spectrum we were talking about, but like double checking because I didn't remember. But
Yeah.
like I'm also on the spectrum as well. Like I'm sure a different part of it because fucking everybody is at least to some degree on different parts. But I was on a different part of the spectrum, just like Sharaf, and I didn't like pick up at all that that was drama. It was
Mhm.
not made very clear to my mind. So I was just like, okay, so it's somebody they blocked him are making pot shots at. Okay, so yeah, I wasn't aware at all. Like, so that just flew right over my head. So even being like on spectrum much like Shadow Ruff, I did not pick up on that at all. so
I
so
gather that it
I would have
could have been getting to some drama, but as far as I was aware, it seemed a bit like Shadowruff's previous talk of Chari in an earlier video he did on the F Ramentator, where there was not on the same level, but there was also some of that same hatred and aggression, which he has improved from. I can't tell because he didn't say anything like that in his recent like 3 videos that were referencing Chari. Like there was none of that, so I can at least say he's improved from that. So I just thought it was something along those same lines of just for some reason it's just that person he doesn't. It's just a person he doesn't like. I didn't know any of the context,
yeah, exactly.
and I
So
wish I had known it because I would have brought it up in the video.
yeah, and like I also struggle with tone, but like, dude, if you're gonna make content while having that, you should also know that like tone is really hard and it's really bad to like understand. So like, if you're gonna be a presenter, you need to kind of be clear to your fellow people on the spectrum and be sure to like fucking make sure your tone is very clear. Is it joking? Is there something else going on? Just like be clear with your intentions. Like I can tell when something's a joke and all, but if you make something and I think it's a joke and like but that's not your intention, you need to like be clear on that intention and why you're bringing it up.
I think what
Is my
doesn't
thing.
help is, as previously mentioned, English likely not being Shadowruff's first language, so um, his grammar does kind of make it hard to understand intention sometimes because it, like I said in my video, it does mess with a lot of his points, and that is also something in hindsight I wish I had more pointed out because I feel like I did, but I don't feel like I made it as prevalent as I should have. That Shadowruff's English makes it very hard to understand a lot of his points, and I had to rewatch his video a lot in order to understand what he was getting at. I mean,
Yeah.
I was able to make out everything eventually, but it does like that with the whole tone thing. It makes it a bit difficult, you know.
Yeah, exactly. Like it would definitely help like having a wider audience if you have subtitles that way they can understand you. And while you have subtitles up, you can put the tone tags there of
Oh,
just like
yeah,
what
that would help a lot actually.
yeah. That was just my thought of just like if English is your first language, then just like try and write the words you are saying or like script out like the words you want to say as best you can or like do it like listen back to your audio and type out the words that you are saying and then make sure to put tone tags on things that are prevalent to having tone tags.
I still stand by what I said about how I think Shadowruff should probably get someone he knows who is more fluent in English to script check for him
Yeah,
because I feel
yeah,
like that would help with a lot of misunderstanding.
yeah. And if he if for some reason he comes back with, well, I don't really have friends that know English that well, then like,
I thought you were
Uh,
friends with Destroyer Shy, man. As far as I understand, Destroyer Shy at least speaks English very well if it isn't his first language.
yeah, just like, or just in general, just like someone who have like constant communication with like Chicory. If you don't have that, then like I don't just like install like Grammarly or something, just like some sort of like program that like helps you with your English.
Even
And
Google Docs can help with grammar.
yeah, even like Google Docs or something. Just like just like make sure you uh just like writing it down what you mean, even if you record it first, even if you prefer to record it first and have things go all the fly, then just like listen back to your own audio because you're editing it anyway, so you
Yeah.
might as well listen to your own audio and type out your words. Or just like YouTube has subtitles, so like copy paste like your transcript into it and make sure that's clear.
I still don't really understand why Shadowruff put subtitles over Destroyer Shy, but not his characters. But at this point, I'm just like rehashing my points from my video, which just watch it at that point.
Yeah.
Slug. Anyway. We got
Yeah.
completely off topic from when we were originally talking about the OG Scout thing. But anyway, fuck that guy. OG Scout, I mean.
Yeah. I don't know what we were talking about before that anyway, so like...
I just know I just kind of brought up OG Scout because I was thinking about it, and it's like, this is probably something I should talk about at some point. And I am
Yeah.
still gonna make a video even after mentioning it in this stream. But I don't know, I feel like it's good to bring it up at some point. Especially because it's nice to have a back and forth with someone. Because you keep me accountable. And I honestly really appreciate that.
Yeah.
Like, you don't let me get away with being shitty.
Well, you're hardly very in the first place.
But my point is, like, even if I make a mistake, you can call me out on that. You can tell me where I did wrong, and I appreciate that.
Yeah,
I don't just want someone that will yes man me. Even if you will refuse to give me criticism on my writing, you'll at least tell me if you genuinely think I'm saying something wrong.
Okay, listen.
I'm calling
Listen,
you out.
I'm extremely bad at giving criticism because I like it, and when I like something, I'm not sure how to phrase how I like it. And I can't, like, when I like something, it's hard to put into words how I dislike it in the moments. And then if I don't do it in the moment, I'm gonna forget about it because I just forget things very easy.
Man.
Especially when something is so good. Like, I only have, like, my criticism that I do about Portal because I've thought about it for fucking years on end. When you ask me for criticism on something, it's literally just fresh in my mind, and so I can't tell you because I don't know yet.
Sorry, I'm, like, starting to focus.
That's fair.
But yeah, I am gonna make a follow-up video to address the whole OG Scout stuff, because I feel like it'll just be, like, in the best interest of, like pure transparency. And I keep saying, if I had known it, I would have talked about it, and I wish I had known about it. So I think making a follow-up video may be the best thing, and just go over what I need to. Don't try to make it too long-winded, but don't gloss over anything.
Yeah.
Also, I don't know if Shadowruff saw my video, or if he'll see the follow-up video, but I don't think anything bad of the guy. Like, he's just a guy who made a bad video at the end of the day. don't hold any ill will against him.
Yeah. Yeah.
And like, I like giving people the benefit of the doubt, which even without knowing the OG Scout thing, I still, like with other things, I still try to give him the benefit of the doubt in my own video. Because I don't like to assume that people are inherently evil if we're just having a genuine discussion. Especially when all I can say is just, you made a few not so great points. Yeah, you know?
Yeah.
Basically, I don't hold anything against the guy. I don't got some kind of vendetta against him. And I do honestly wish him well in future endeavors.
Yeah.
I honestly do think if he can manage to like dust his hands off of like this whole situation, he can go on to improve. I genuinely do believe that, because I think anyone can improve if they really try to. It's just a matter of putting in that effort. And Shadowruff has, like, he's clearly showing that he's trying, and I can appreciate that. However, you know, there is still, like, those same reoccurring problems that I saw, which is why I wanted to make my video. Not to dogpile on him, not to call him awful and terrible, but just because I saw issues and I felt like he should be aware of them if he wants to improve. And like he doesn't need to watch my video. If he doesn't watch my video, that's fine. I won't hold it against him. That's entirely fair. But I do think he can improve.
Yeah.
I don't know, maybe I'm a little bit too, maybe I'm too charitable or something, but I don't think Shadowruff's a bad guy.
Yeah, no, I don't think that's like anything that's like too charitable. I think that's just fair.
I mean, like, in general, with people, maybe I can sometimes be a bit too charitable.
Yeah, no, I don't think that's a bad thing. Maybe that's just my own sort of... maybe that's sort of my own pacifism and, like, it's somewhat optimism coming in, but I don't think that's a bad thing.
Yeah.
To at least try to see the best in people.
So while I don't know if my path and Shadowruff's will ever cross again, but I do wish him well in his future endeavors.
Yeah. And I think that's like much better than like just immediately assuming the worst of people. Cause I don't know, I'm so used to the narrative of just like this world is a cold, dark, bitter place and everybody is shit all the time. Just like, yeah, okay, I hear you, homie, and I hear that things are bad sometimes, but at the same time, just like...
I don't feel
like,
like people are inherently evil. I mean, at the same time, I don't believe everyone's inherently good. I do think being nice is a choice. It's an easy choice, but it's a choice at the end of the day. But I don't think the world is inherently evil.
Yeah, I hear so many, just like, so much of just like how the world is bad all the time. From all over the place, fucking... Like, all of the news, especially, like, here as of late, is about how bad everything is, how the world's on fucking fire all of the time. And yes, it is, but can we, like, have some good news once in a while? Just some, like, good things about humanity and how we're not all doomed to die in a fire?
Yeah, so if I can spread some positivity, I would like to do that.
Exactly.
Especially
like
to people whose only crime is making bad points. Cause like I said, I'm not upset at Shadowruff for getting angry in his video. I don't think he can't get angry. I just think at the end of the day, his execution was poor. That's basically it. I don't hold any ill will against the guy, and I do wish him well in future endeavors, like genuinely.
Yeah. Just the world's a cold and cruel enough place, and we hear about it over and over again. Let's just try to like be a little bit positive about humanity and just like, try to see the best in it. Cause I already have like there are points in my life where even I'm just like humanity sucks and everything about humans suck, and it's just I wish that like humans were not it just did not exist and we just left the world to be as it is. So I would much rather hear about the good things of humans and how not everybody is doomed to be just the cynical bastard looking out for themselves.
Like, frankly, I am still a damaged person, and there are some people that I will just never trust anymore because of, the stuff they have done to me or the people I care about and stuff like that. But that doesn't mean I think every person I come across is a bad person. If you present yourself as a bad person and you do bad things, I will think, okay, you're done. You're done. But if literally all you do is make some bad takes that don't even affect anything, you're just making like some bad points that could be improved upon, you're not inherently a bad person. You just can learn. I think that's a much better take to have than everyone who is against you is evil. Even though sometimes it can be hard to think rationally because we're like that as a species, aren't we?
Yeah,
And
it do be
like I'll admit, while I was initially watching Shadowruff's video, I I was upset, but that wasn't because I was upset at him specifically, but more I just saw the same things again, and it just made me, I guess, disappointed was the best way to put it. Other than that Komodo dragon bit, that bit absolutely floored me. I'm sorry. But for the most part, it wasn't because I thought he was a bad person. It's just because it was just a thing of it is happening again.
Yeah, just like repetition. There's only so many times you can hear it before just like it's just like I feel like I'm going in like actually insane of just that thing definition of insanity.
Yeah. It was genuinely hard to make a video where almost every point was you missed the point. I had to come up with creative ways of saying it so it wouldn't get old. Like, that's why I had the bit about the classroom, and that was an example of missing the point, and, oh look, the point, look at it go, soaring above, so majestic, which, from the looks of it, that was the favored line among my friend group. Or at the very least, a few people seemed to like that line especially. Which is, I had to get fun with it, because it does get draining after a point, and that's not even on Shadowruff, that's just repetition can get draining.
Yeah. Hard to keep making keep up that energy of the video while saying the same thing over and over again.
I gotta make some changes, and I mean, I do want to also make my videos for entertainment. They're mostly for entertainment and criticism, maybe a bit of debate, but I don't know how much I'll really dabble into that too much. But it's mainly going to be entertainment and criticism, so I will, like, crack jokes here and there. I especially did in that video because it made it easier to get through it. At least for me. Because I know it isn't very entertaining or easy to sit through someone saying the same thing over and over again. That's also why sometimes in the video, I would, instead of addressing the point, I would just say, hey, you're missing the point again, so I'm actually going to talk about something production-wise. Because, as I said, repeating the same thing would get draining on me, and production points are a thing in commentaries, and I was like, hey, there are maybe some things I can bring up for you to improve from. You know, just keep in mind. I wish one of the things I mentioned in the video, because this is something I noticed while I was watching, but I didn't bring it up. His voice for Waluigi and the Kingdom Hearts creature, I don't know what it's called. I'm sorry. I am uninformed. The voice for Waluigi and the Kingdom Hearts creature are
Where do you want to
exactly
go
the
next?
same, and there are
If you'd
some
like to
points
see me-
where he'll be talking, but the character won't be on screen, so I won't be sure which one it is. And that's not very good. Like anecdotally with Graffy, for one, me and Graffy has very distinct different voices because, well, it's two different people. My friend Jay voiced Graffy, and I'm very glad they did. It's fucking amazing. The mushroom referenced in the credits scene.
The Graphy.
The Graffy. Me and Graffy have very different voices, so it's a lot easier to tell us apart. And even then, when Graffy first appeared in the intro, I showed a picture of clearly her, so that way you would know who that is referring to. And it also helps that there isn't like a second character that sounds exactly like Graffy that would also need to be referred to. But Waluigi and the Heartless creature have the exact same voices, so if you're not putting the character on screen, it's a bit hard to tell which one of them is supposed to be talking. It's a nitpick at the end of the day, but I still wish I had brought it up in some capacity.
Yeah.
Because, you know, production critiques are a big part of the SCC, because while commentary is inherently a mostly auditory experience, they do try to add some flair in there with their editing and visuals. So, you know, that's why I butt in with a few production critiques here and there.
Yeah.
Solidify.
I mean, there was time when things that did kind of boil down to production critiques could be used for a further point. Because the reason I was talking about the disclaimer for how long I did, and then turned around and said, well, Efron was pretty much going on for a while for something that wasn't really needed, was because the differences. Efron wasn't making a bigger point and was dissecting it and going over every little bit of it that was wrong. However, mine was attached to a bigger point with Shadowruff's overall grammar and stuff like that. You know? Is this making sense? Should I try and rephrase it? Okay. But yeah, it was basically connected to that bigger point of the grammar making it hard to understand, and the disclaimer is a good reference to talk about initially when describing it. Because it's the first thing you're exposed to in the video. It's the first bit of, like, the writing and voices you're exposed to. It's a good example of things to come. Or a bad example of things to come, because it doesn't bode well. That's another thing I kind of wish I had elaborated on in the video, but I don't feel like it's really necessary to make a addendum about it. Because I feel like my point does still get across. I just didn't I don't feel like I elaborate as much as I could have, theoretically. But, okay, this
We've
is
been
difficult.
talking about this topic for a while.
Yeah. I like these. I like talking about commentaries. I'm sorry.
Yeah, no, you're good. I feel like we've been having this conversation for a while now.
That's fair.
You know.
How do I...
Good question.
How do I? Because I'm getting the shield down,
It's like,
but it is taking a while. How late is it? Oh, it's 11:30.
Solidified.
And the shield went down a bit again. I don't understand how I'm doing it. Oh fuck.
Gather. Stabilize.
I'm trying to think of something to talk about, but I don't have much to say.
Stabilize.
We were talking about like movies we were watching when we were kids. Any like favorites that you like would play over and over again?
From Barbie?
And
Because I
not
know
from
we were
Barbie,
talking
but
about
just-
that specifically.
Yeah, we were talking about that specifically, but just like I feel like now we're just gonna go into like in general. Is there any like definite like, oh, my parents got annoyed with me with how much I played it, sorta?
I wouldn't say my parents ever got annoyed with me rewatching movies, because mostly I just watched them by myself in my room, because I could do that at the time. But
Yeah.
one thing that does come to mind of a movie I would definitely rewatch a lot, though this feels a bit more recent than you may be referring to, Rapunzel. Not Rapunzel, Tangled. I fucking love Tangled.
Oh, Tangled, yeah. Tangled's good.
It is very good. I like it a lot.
Yeah. But none from like when you were like in a
I would say Aladdin.
Nothing to fear.
Aladdin's definitely something from when I was younger that I would play over and over. Back when we had Aladdin on VHS tape.
Man.
Which makes me sound a lot older than I actually am. We had
You're
Aladdin
younger
on
than me,
VHS
so-
tape.
Solidified.
What?
Yeah, cause you're younger than me, so
Exactly.
that I'd be.
It's good. It's because my dad is big on collecting physical copies of stuff. He likes having the physical copies of stuff, and I think he wanted to hold on to the VHS tapes as long as he could. I think we did eventually end up selling them, but eh.
I remember one. Well, there were two actually, but one was more my brother's fault than mine. For me, mine was Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. Easy.
Was it the one with the "You lose, good day, sir"?
That was Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory. That was the
Okay,
OG.
I
I'm
always
talking
get the
about
two mixed up.
Yeah, no, Charlie.
Because
and
I
Chocolate
never
Factory is
watched
the
the Tim Burton version, surprisingly.
Yeah, the unfortunately Tim Burton version. I say unfortunate because, yikes.
Racism is not cool.
Yeah, it's not cool, but like but before all that kerfuffle happens, yeah, Charlie and Chocolate Factory, Tim Burton's version, I adored that so much. I would watch it so many times that maybe that's why I phrased it as to the point where you folks got annoyed, because they did get annoyed at me. They had to hide it from me. That's how many times I fucking watched the DVD. And it's not like a thing, like I even watched in the living room a lot. It was just like from my grandparents' room a lot because they had the TV and I was like staying there. And things whenever I watched DVDs and like so. That's why they get annoyed, because they would come in and they'd be like, "Are you watching fucking Charlie and the Chocolate Factory again? You have this shit. Why are you watching it again?"
My parents wouldn't be annoyed, mostly because, like I said, whenever I watch movies, they're mostly in my own room, or I would sometimes watch them with my dad. Like that one time when I was little and my dad watched Spaceballs with me in the room, and he fell asleep, and then he woke up to the credits, and I was there watching it and quoting it when I was very young, and he was like, "Oh God."
Yeah.
I fucking love Spaceballs. As someone who vehemently is against getting into Star Wars because I'm not touching that with a 10-foot pole, I fucking love Spaceballs. That's probably because I'm absolutely my dad's absolutely my favorite. So anything that connects to him to me is very important to me. That's also one of the reasons why I love Little Shop of Horrors so much.
Okay. Can you also remind me what Spaceballs is? I've never heard about it. Like, I thought... you're talking about
Spaceballs
space-
is a parody of Star Wars. It's one of
Like,
those
from
parody movies of like the first one with like, you know, the whole Luke, I am your father.
Okay, so just like in general, just a parody, not like a...
Yeah.
Like,
Just in general, a parody of Star Wars. It's very intentionally a parody too. It's one of those movies.
okay, I thought you were talking about like for some reason, like I
Did
know
you
that,
think
like,
I meant Star Trek?
Solidify.
No. Cause I remember that like my stepdad, like he had like the Family Guy version of the original like Star Wars trilogy, and I couldn't remember what it was called. Like, so I wouldn't be surprised if it was called Spaceballs, cause fucking it's Family Guy, of course it would be. So I was just like confused if you were talking about that.
No, that's not what I was talking about. I didn't even know Family Guy did a parody of it.
Yeah, they did, they absolutely did.
I know Phineas and Ferb did.
I don't
Oh,
remember.
fuck.
To be honest. Oh boy. Now for the ultimate question of this, if this shit is possible, because that
Theoretically, but I will have to dedicate a lot of time. And considering it's late, I'm gonna not dedicate that time right now.
yeah. So we're gonna put a question mark on that.
Question mark.
But that's what I thought you were talking about for a second. So I was just like confused of just like.
No. Spaceballs isn't the Family Guy. It's its own movie.
Yeah, it's its own parody movie. Okay, that's fair enough.
It had notable moments such as the Schwartz merchandise or the Spaceballs merchandise, the Spaceballs flamethrower. The kids love this one. Comb Desert. You found anything? We ain't found shit. And
Okay.
also when they watch the movie of Spaceballs.
Oh, like they zoom out the camera. It's the characters
Yeah.
watching the movie.
And like they zoom, it's like that effect when like you put two mirrors like in front of each other, but with the movie. And they like look back and forth between their screen where they're watching it and the camera.
Oh, gotcha.
It's a very funny bit in my opinion.
Yeah, that's fair.
But then again,
But,
I
yeah.
do love fourth wall breaking.
Yeah, that's fair.
Wine
But
tastes
yeah,
the same as
I
remember.
would watch Charlie and the Chocolate Factory just so much. It was rough to fucking like for for my folks to to know that I just watched Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, and another remember to a more to more so of an extent than what I had was my brother's offense, which was the original season of on DVD, the original season of TMNT 2012. They they got in trouble because like they're like at this stage like I don't want to say 4 and 2, like 6 and 4, somewhere around that area, respectively for both of them. And
Alright, you
what
have
they
two
would do,
brothers. I don't know
yeah,
how
I
I
have two
forgot that.
yeah, but what they would end up doing was because like 90% of the room was taken up by the bed, and there was a little hallway for the closet area and a little bit of floor in
front of the bed, was on the bed, they would try to quote unquote imitate the ninjutsu moves, and
Oh
that
my god.
once they fall over or fall into the floor, and that would get them into huge amounts of trouble because they really shouldn't be imitating, fighting, especially on the fucking bed, which was unstable ground. It was kind of dangerous, so they end up having the DVD taken away because, like, you guys are not responsible and you've already, like, memorized all of the fucking, like, lines anyway, especially from the first episode, so we're taking this away. And it was that way for, like, I want to say a good, like, half a year for a while until, like, the situation has, like, calmed down in the house. Just in general, just, like, things have kind of calmed down over a while. And then I just, like, I don't know why I was, like, going through, like, the drawers of my grandparents' room where I was staying. I don't know what brought me to do that. I think I was looking for something unrelated and something else. And then I found it at the bottom of the drawer, the DVD case with the DVD in it. I found the, like, TMNT movie because, like, I think it was my grandfather who confiscated it, and so he hid it under there, and I guess he didn't let like my mom or anybody else in the house know where he hid it, or why he was taking it away, or at least, like, he probably said why, but, like, he just, like, was kind of, like, something about it just wasn't, it was kind of to everyone, so since I couldn't find it, that was the only reason why they, like, stopped playing it. But, like, as soon as I brought up, like, hey, I found it, they're like, oh, okay, I guess we can, like, put it in again. And, of course, my brothers celebrated that, and they still knew the lines by heart.
Man.
So that was that escapade. So, yeah.
I never really had anything like that.
Okay. So that's just a me thing, then.
Yeah. Like I said, nothing I watched really annoyed my parents because it's either something I watched with my dad or by myself in my room. So it didn't really ever affect them.
Solidify.
Gotcha.
Dad loved watching movies with me. He still does. It's something we bond over.
Yeah.
I love
That
my
makes
dad.
me.
Clearly you're all without fathers. I'm not. I fucking love my dad. Oh fuck, I almost had it. This one's a definite.
Okay.
This one's a definite yes.
Yes.
Gather.
Yes.
Yes. What?
No, nothing, just yes is funny.
Yes.
Have you watched anything with him lately, by the way?
Fuck, I'm trying to think. It's been a while, unfortunately.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I know we watched, like, Puss in Boots' Last Wish, so have you, like, watched it with him?
No, we haven't. We've been meaning to watch the, D&D movie together.
Right, yeah, that one.
Whew, there we go. Animal hypostasis, possible. Alright, so... Check,
Apparently
check.
1000 version that was really bad, by the way.
Oh my god.
Which I think is why I got mixed up and kind of, like, hesitant to watch the new one, because I heard, like, oh, it's bad, but then I looked and I was like, oh, wait, that's the old one. Oops.
Check.
So, at that point, that's
check,
my... Yeah, I don't think we're getting around to all 20th at this rate, my love.
Yeah, not right now, but there is a decent few that I've done so far that I've confirmed that is definitely. So it has been confirmed. There are quite a few bosses so far that can be soloed by Zhongli, but the rest of them will be for another time. Next time on Dragon Ball Z. Oh, I got an achievement. That's the achievement.
That's fine, Dad.
Show it to me. Let the electro-divine perform its charge electrical collision. Let it do that? I didn't necessarily let it do that, I just couldn't stop it. It's hard to stop elemental reactions
Every
when you're
journey
just
has its
Geo.
final day. Don't rush.
Okay. Okay, Peepaw, let's get you to bed. Man. Well, I think that's a good place to end the stream. Because where else would you end the stream, honestly? Boop-a-da-doo.
Good. Goodbye.
Goodbye!